is that little bit of momentum to get yourself going here in these opening seconds.
Well, the momentum has just snowballed here for Hidden Cipher, and for Hidden Cipher, I think a lot of these chances for themselves, they've seen it before. They've played against such top quality competition. They've been able to really see themselves grind out, but an open net there, Fate, with the fate in his hands for the rest of this series, puts it right there for the first goal.
Hey, what did I say? What did I say? You need one, and now you move on to the next. It's all about one goal at a time. For a guy who likes Smash Brothers so much, it's one stock at a time. You've got to take what you can get, and that's good looks for Ghostline Zero here in Game 3.
But the question now is one enough? Is your defense prepared to stop this man off the post in the back of the net, ties us up in the first 60?
Short-lived, I guess, is what we'll call that. Short-lived is what it is, but nonetheless, it happened. They held the lead for the time being. Let's see, did we finally get an update here on the bracket? I am unsure. Nope, we still haven't updated that final series. I don't know what happened between Ken and Ballistic, but hopefully somebody can update me on the side or maybe even in the chat. Right now, tied at ones. Holy, great save for Hidden Cipher. Sends it up to Nova. Nova, one of the best rematch players so far in North America here. Still rocking at the top of the talent.
I was curious. I looked on here. 86 minutes is what Start has for that match right now. That is a series and more. And it's kind of showing you how great, how well you have to play throughout Swiss to be able to get a good matchup starting things off. You never want to kind of leave it into the hands of saying, all right, we might be able to find something good, or we might find ourselves in a tough one. And you're seeing it. Ballistic, Ken, two teams are used to seeing each other potentially in the semifinals or at least the quarterfinals. They're in round one.
All right, so Pell is letting us know there is some kind of dispute going on, and obviously you hate to see it, but that is the nature of the game. Okay, thank you, True Speeda. There is a dispute, so that's the second confirmation. I wonder what that is all about. Hopefully we can get some insider info from anybody who will eventually find out what the answer is. But obviously, again, it's game 5 over there, regardless of what the dispute says. We're going to hopefully see that one keeping going. Oh, Fate gets it. Couldn't seal the pass kick down low, bottom corner. That was a great play for Ghostline. I wish they could have capitalized.
Yeah, at a point, the show must go on. I think for these teams right now, they're trying to put on a great one. And Izagi trying to see himself bending like Beckham, just finds it back as Diz picks it up off the backboard.
Hey. You can't call it the backboard unless it's actually the backboard. Pelmav definitely let me know that, because everything isn't technically the wall or whatever. I don't know. People get mad about that for some reason. But I'm teasing, by the way. I'm teasing everybody. Don't come at my neck. I'm absolutely teasing. Looks like Omar God will be definitely tying up the game here for Ghostline Zero. First time we've seen Omar put one in the back of the net.
I think what happened, they saw us distracted into the booth, and they said, all right, we might be able to slip one through while no one's watching. Puts it right 2-2, 3:17 remaining. This team in Ghostline Zero, they have picked it up in this game. They saw what the writing on the wall was, and they said, we don't like it. We want to find a way to get a new scripture, find our way to see if we can sing a new hymn. But, right now, still a lot of work for Ghostline, but a great job there taking that one away.
Well, I guess Norman might give us a little bit of an update there in the chat, as it looks like Fate is just going to keep scoring. That's 2 here for Fate in this game 3. Looking at a potential hat trick here for Ghostline Zero. I mean, look at the offense. They finally found it. Wolfie, this is exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah, and this was one where, we didn't know who was going to step up right now for Ghostline, but they've gotten so much better. I think it just kind of goes into they didn't have their warm-up match. They kind of got thrown into the fire, like we mentioned, but now they have the fire extinguisher, the hazmat suit for themselves, and saying, we're accustomed to it. It's no longer too hot for ourselves. The lights aren't that bright, and we're going to try to see if we can extend this series.
I mean, that's exactly what they want to do. They need to extend it, because right now they're on last life, and it's still a very close game. Only 1 goal separates them and Hidden Cipher. But look, I mean, the offense that we have seen, long clear up. Diz loses that one away. will be sent to the other side. Omar tries to hold the possession. Nova will pick this one up, has a nice cross. Zeptus wide open, tons of grass to clear here on this pitch. That's a pass over. Good deflection by Luke. Nova finds one more. Blade over. Shot is good. Great hands by the keeper.
Keeper, I think he's starting to get more accustomed to how these shots are coming in. He's seen them go wide net with just a bit of that touch, and it seems that he's been way more prepared for it than the last couple games. But this is one where you're almost going to be in a blender. You have a 1-2 potentially. Back the other way. Diz rolls it in.
Is that a Rocket League reference secretly?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was. You're not sneaky, Wolfie. You're not sneaky at all. I caught that one instantly. That's so funny. But no, seriously, good shot from Diz, finding that tying goal. This will be 100 seconds and counting, though, Wolfie. I love to see this kind of play between both teams in a match like this, an all-important match for Ghostline Zero. They really are forcing Hidden Cypher to play up at a higher level to take the win.
Well, and, you know, this is now where you're kind of saying, you know, was this opposition here in Cypher not ready for the comeback of Ghostline? I know it's only one game, you know, in this best of 5, but they have played so well right now. Ghostline Zero, I don't know what was talked after that last match, but whatever it was, it's been working.
No, it absolutely has, and that's exactly what you want to see. Also, guys, I did pin a comment in the Twitch chat. It looks like the staff over at RME are really kind of locking down on something. So if you guys want to read that comment and maybe get an update, form a ticket, get some more information from the editor or some of the guys working on the scenes behind. Oh, Diz with a 4th. This is the 2nd goal, I believe, for Diz, correct? That's the 2nd one.
Actually, the 3rd. He had one off the pass. You know, I think you might be right. 2nd, 3rd, but he has just been scoring. His name has popped up more and more, and you know, I'm liking the fact that, you know, we saw an Isagi show back in game 1 and game 2. Now Diz has emerged as a primary number 2.
Well, it kind of like is a rotation of effect when it comes to this squad, especially on the side of Hidden Cypher. You got everybody up top, and Nova and Isagi, now Diz with this game. It does feel like you have 3 potential strikers for this squad that can do some damage, but you got 15 seconds left. This is an all-important possession here for Ghostline Zero. Kai open on the right side. We've got Omar in the mid, trying to find Fate. The miscommunication goes back to the keeper. This should be final attack here for Ghostline Zero. They have to make good on this opportunity. Back wall play, one touch, goes back central, finds the pass, the deflection is good. Oh no! Hidden Cypher seal the dream to move forward in the series with a clean sweep over Ghostline Zero.
Yeah, well, what a chance there. And, you know, for Diz, did get the hat trick, and Isagi kind of playing a support role, 3 assists to his name, gets 1 goal. But, you know, the one thing I'll tell Ghostline Zero, you all played amazing. I loved what you all did and the progressions you all made to get to this point in game number 3. Yes, you got swept. The janitorial staff came in. They brought the brooms with them. But, you know, it wasn't a mopping of the floor. It was one where they really were able to rise to the occasion. Unfortunately, we won't see them play another game tonight.
That is very unfortunate. We will have another match coming up kind of quickly, but like we said, we kind of got the info down low. We got the information down low. Sorry about that. I apologize. I heard something else in my ears. But looks like Pelmav and I were perfect through round 1 on our predictions. We have our teams lined up. Ken did end up moving forward due to a dispute. There was an interesting interaction that happened down below on the feet. Looks like it was a deflection for a tap in. Did go ahead and count, like I said, which led to the comment that I did pin in the chat from the Play RME staff. If you do have further questions, definitely get with them on that ruling. But so far, we've got games going on in round 2. Force Fed, False, tied at 1-1. Low XP and SBK have not recorded a single game just yet. And Narcan versus Ken North America can finally start their series, guys. Keep it locked here, right here on this Twitch channel. We got more Rematch coming at you. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on the air here. It's Pelmav joined by Wolfie once again. I know you guys were just watching an incredible match just now. I know it was a lot of fun, but we got to see Hidden Cypher, who are coming into this top 16 bracket as the #1 overall seed for a reason. And Wolfie, you could probably see as to why. They took down GhostLine Zero, and it looked in like a pretty easy fashion until maybe that game 3. There was a little bit of, you know, back and forth, a lot of goals being scored, but the better team prevailed at the end of the day. And now we have a bit of a more interesting matchup, I think. Maybe a matchup a lot of people really wanted to see between two very, very proper teams coming into this one. Low XP, who have yet to lose a series in the entire weekend, going up against SPK.
Wow. Well, yeah, this was one where I think even before the tournament started here for the top 16, I saw low XP. I was seeing who's on there. I saw Karma and I saw Ty, and I was like, that's it. That's all I need to see for me to be able to root for this team. I'm expecting a lot from them, and to be a brand new team that's formed, you have to go through some sort of adversity, and SPK is going to give you exactly that.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And an interesting couple of notes here with these two teams. It looks like we've seen a lot of these teams, they have maybe like one individual sub on this Sunday. It's very interesting to see. On the side of SPK, it looks like no Seth in at their back line. Their main anchor holding it down. It's instead going to be XV. You can call him Alex, Alexander, or just XV, whatever you guys want to call him. He's a super sub. Obviously, I've seen him a lot of times in the past with Force-Fed Gaming, and it looks like now, obviously, on the side of SPK. So going to be very interesting to watch a guy that kind of plays really anywhere at needed. So going into that defensive role is going to be very something to highlight, at least at the minimum. And on the other side, with low XP, I haven't had the pleasure, I don't think either of us have, of actually casting one of these games of this team. I mean, they are the team of the weekend so far, kind of a pickup team, if you will, not an official team. Obviously just kind of joined up, and they absolutely dominated in their games in the Swiss, and so they immediately became a team to watch and clearly have to stick around as we have Ty, Pretty, Keo, Insight. And how about Ness as GK here today, as instead of Karma, it'll be Ness, a longtime name in this rematch game. Hasn't been on a top team like this, though, in quite some time, and it'll be very interesting to now watch him try to hold it down in this new game.
It's going to be tough. We have such great strikers in this game. And, for someone that's going into the goalkeeper position, I always say I put as many prayers onto you. I personally would not want to be in that type of blender against these type of teams. But, SPK, I think for themselves is you're the name brand of this. You've been in the rematch scene for so long against a new up-and-coming squad where you're trying to say, hey, let's show you what the ropes look like. I know there's a lot of veteran experience on that other side. You look at Ty, and wherever he goes, or a lot of people kind of circle that name on every single roster. But now it's saying, hey, you want to go to the semifinals against another team in Arcan and Kin who are fighting for that semifinal spot. It's not going to get easier. This is just what the road kind of gives you.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen some diabolical matchups so far here already. Yes. A couple of round 1 classics, and now we maybe, when we start to weed through the traffic maybe a little bit, try to get to some of these teams where they have at least taken one of their series, and they do meet up now in the quarterfinals. Again, it is still a best of 5, and it will be the side of low XP kicking us off here with this one, and it will be the GK Ness going to be initiating a set play right out of the gates with 3 in the box of the outfielders on both teams. It will go straight up on through in for Ty, who will just take a straight up shot. How about that look to start off the game? And it leads into a Skoto save.
Well, it's kind of saying, hey, let's get our main man the ball quickly. And, you talked about it in that first series you all did. The goalkeeper, his position has evolved so much. You have to be multifaceted to be able to help initiate the offense, but more importantly, get back, be able to get some of these big saves. And it's kind of showing you the developmental and where this game has been going. But Ness right now, having to be careful, does not want a quick shot right back on his net.
You can clearly see the SPK game plan right out of the gates, though, defensively, just letting the keeper Ness walk up, having to initiate a set play, not letting them do, not even necessarily counter, but just not even playing fast. They're going to have to run basically 2-3-man plays every single time if they want to get something done here. And it's another stop on that defensive side if you are SPK. Now it will be Alexander, top box. Leroy finding it after the pass in from Mendoza, which gets now knocked away by a guy who has really been on the rise as an anchor in the rematch scene over the past month. Insight getting his first big block. And now Skotos, how about a little all taking that right off the top of Pretty.
And I love the sense of urgency there from Skodos. Understand, hey, Pretty can make things go, and I want to make sure I don't give them the tools to do so. And, you know, for both these two teams trying to fight for that first shot, but I've liked the pressure that they've been able to do. Both these two keepers have kind of seen themselves kind of get acclimated into the weather of this game. And, you know, this is where I'm excited to see what more they can do. But, you know, getting these long clears and allowing some open space to give your team some good progression forward, it's going to be huge.
Absolutely is going to be huge, and a big development as well in the rematch scene. Just a lot of great new stuff happening as well. I mean, the duo of Ty and Pretty, who have been around together for such a long time, and usually though playing as the duo in the midfield, Pretty Cam, Ty CDM. They both now shifted up one officially, as Pretty has returned to her old form in as a striker, and Ty now moving up as well as the Cam. So a bit more of an attacking presence with this duo, and clearly all weekend long it has certainly been catching some teams off guard. Hasn't been able to do so. 2.5 minutes gone by through against this SPK defense, again, because you can see what their game plan is. It will be Mendoza who will get this ball for free, doesn't face any pressure. Now Leroy, the middleman, with the header on top, but they're double teaming Juice Yamal. Just great defense here, Wolfie, between both teams in this game.
And it's tough to try to ward off Leroy. He has a sixth sense for the ball for the most part. And, you know, look for him to really start taking a lot of these passing lanes away. His defense has been amazing here throughout his career. And, you know, this is where he's trying to say, hey, I know what this moment looks like, and it looks like my name needs to be plastered all over it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Leroy, again, a guy who is, you know, just such a great striker as well, but maybe not, you know, in some people's eyes, considered maybe one of the top 2, top 3, but he's certainly trying to find his way in there. And again, he gets so much great, you know, assistance from Juice Jamal, who is the heartbeat of this SPK offense. Great shot there down low by Pretty on the break, but a nice save in retaliation there from Skodos. So it's going to be a lot on Leroy. Obviously, the conversation always is a bit there, and depends on what they're able to give. And if he's able to start, you know, with those intermediate passes as well, a lot more, be a part of the build up here. As you can see right now, he will just yank it off that left side wall, B wall that is. And either way, Wolfie, I mean, it doesn't matter what these teams are throwing at each other right now. It just ends up in the GK's hands every single time.
You know, it's just haymaker after haymaker, and to me, which one of these GKs flinches first? And, you know, Skodos, he's been tested before. He is not a stranger to these type of environments, and I think for SPK, that's the one thing they have. It's just they're knowing them, saying, guys, as a team, we can get this done. We know that we can play at the top of Rematch, and we're trying to get ourselves right back there. Single elimination, it kind of has to bring out the best in you.
Yeah, and it's one of these kind of games that I wonder if it's going to happen through the remainder of this series. But when it's so defensive like this, you know, it was really only going to take that one moment of brilliance, some great precision from either of these sides to really give themselves that 1-goal lead, and then they can just continue back into that defensive identity that they love to have. Pretty trying to snap to that one. It's a great pass in by Ty, but just better defense once again prevailing here on the side of SPK, rocking the all black, pretty on brand with what they normally do have. They will be on XV, launching one downspin, trying to hit Mendoza. And he didn't do so, but with a couple of deflections on the back line, it will find its way through. And how about the super sub scoring the first goal here of the series?
Well, sometimes you'd rather be lucky than better, but a bit of both there. Unfortunately, just was not able to get in front of it for the keeper. And, you know, he left the first goal after, what was it, 5 minutes close to? And, you know, they've been playing spotless, but will this one goal be able to hold?
And you almost wonder, I mean, usually I would say no, but again, just with what we've seen so far from these two sides, especially, it's a bit of a dangerous thing, especially now with having low XP trying to play a bit more aggressive. And with that, you can see the keeper well off his line. It's Mendoza who now tags on another, this time maybe considered a proper goal. And with just under a minute to go in game one, SPK now leads by 2.
We were talking a lot about the egoists in that last game, me and Taquito, and that one from outside the box, from that far away, just says, I got the power to be able to put that one through. And 2 goals, maybe too much right now. SPK, this team on a run, but will they give up one before the end of regulation? And if I am low XP, I'm trying to gain some XP and at least get one here to say, all right, we can get past Skodos there. We can get past his back line.
They absolutely can. It's just a matter of right now they're going to have to take it probably into game 2 here, because it's just an all SPK offensive onslaught here in the final stretch. Ness trying to rectify something. We'll just nuke one down. Ty, Threadman trying to get for Purdy. No good with Mendoza once again all the way back. And how about the 2 goal scorers right now from SPK? I mean, this is very unorthodox. You can talk about really any rematch team, any rematch game, is the 2 goal scorers are being the 2 defenders, the 2 holding it down at the back line. Technically have credit to the goals being scored in this game. game, the only 2 scored, and it will have SPK in the driver's seat after game number 1, which is a huge statement because a lot of people, again, you talked about coming into the series, SPK, you kind of give them the doubt or the benefit of the doubt that they have the continuity, the organization itself has been in Rematch for such a long time. They're used to winning, whereas this low XP team have just been kind of that pickup team that's been surprising people over the weekend. We know the players, but as a unit, it's been truly something special to watch, but they really shut up a lot of the talk right there. I mean, they shut them out completely and held them to none. So a great game 1 victory here on the side of SPK. Now it's a matter of if they can replicate that going forward.
It's always interesting when you have your keeper be the MVP. Skoda's being able to have the most points in the lobby. That's one where he's getting a lot of work, and that scares me a little bit. He can be perfect for as long as he can till he isn't. And, for Skoda's being able to see a lot of those shots come on, there were some good shots. One that he felt he was able to get quickly away, but that at least tells me right now for low XP, they're penetrating that box right now. And they're finding ways to find good looks, but nothing so far. We'll see what they get here in game number 2.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is just probably going to come down to the creativity here, trying to figure out how they can break down this SPK low block, if you will, just going full defensive identity at the back, going 3 at the back basically every time, not really playing very much any counterattack ball, trying to play quickly, very different than some of the other teams that we normally are accustomed to seeing here on the NA side, and it's been working out again for SPK clearly so far tonight as they try to get things off with a bang. It was been a great play. It was a great feed on through. Juicy Maul the tap, but Ness, luckily that time in a good position on his line. They do get it out quickly, looking fine, pretty, but the ball in from inside just a bit wide.
Well, and that was just a scary option there for SPK. I think that last goal, if you're low XP, you kind of see that and say, we can't give up a quick goal here. We have to at least make this game go the length, but Leroy gets himself on the score line.
Yeah, a big one here for Leroy, his first of the series. Now waiting on Juicy Maul maybe to get his one. It almost feels like it's coming, but a great setup there. Nice rainbow just before that initial edge, and he sets it up from deep range and still able to get it by the gloves there of Ness. So great work from SPK, and they are looking very strong now after, again, what was maybe a bit of a dull opening 4 minutes or so in that game 1. Has certainly no longer been dull on the side of SPK. They are playing their brand of Rematch, and it is working out for them like a charm. Just a minute gone by, and now they'll have to do the similar thing again. Low XP, once again, right back into the set play build-up, which has yet to work for them once in this series. Ness looking for Ty, good pass, finds Pretty going far post, and still Skodos just too good.
I don't know how he stretched out for that, honestly. It just seemed on the last portion, got the hitbox there of the gloves and, able to come away with it. But I'm liking this pressure. SPK right now, that one goal, that just makes this opposition in low XP have to play a little bit more desperate than you would like to. But at least hey, we need to score one at any point in this. Now we got to do it quick.
You got to do it quick. And how about this? Oh, it was a great attempt there by Leroy. Another middle into that left side, looking for Leroy. Great feed in by Juicy Maul, but keeper able to hold his ground, that being Ness, to avoid what would have been a tragic goal to allow the moon header over the top. Now finds Ty, lobber over the top, finding Pretty, and Skodos now with some aggression of his own. Just what a keeper he truly has been, a guy that's been doing it. You mentioned it at some of the highest level for such a long time in this game, wherever he is, whatever stop he's on with whatever team. And now obviously as the big one here with SPK, as it was news, maybe just not even a week ago, that the main keeper for SPK and Verk obviously was going to step down as the main. And so Skodos has now stepped up into the light, and he has been absolutely brilliant for them.
And it's one where to replace great keepers, to find that type of efficiency, it's so hard. But these players, they make it look so easy just from their diligence, how much they work onto this game. And it surely plays off, especially when we get onto these matches where they're finally on stream. They're saying, hey, it's not a ranked match no more. This is no longer a scrim. This is for all the marbles.
Is for all the marbles. Keo finding Pretty, trying to take a touch, never had a chance with XV all over that one. Another feed in, down spinner, just a bit too long that time for Pretty. And this offensive duo, typically with Ty and Pretty up front, now also involving even their anchor inside and Keo, everyone trying to feed balls into the box, even the keeper when they're being forced to bring it up. Absolutely no success. Now 9 minutes deep into this one, and you almost have to question what's going to have to change. And how about this from thin air? It is Juicy Maul after all. 4 goals for SPK now in 2 games from 4 different goal scorers.
Well, we always want to be able to juice a competition, but what a shot there. Threads the needle, bottom right post, and you can't get any more perfect than that.
Absolutely, just out of thin air, and it almost makes you wonder if, well, if they're able to pull that out right now, when's the moment of magic going to come here for Low XP? Again, a team that a lot of people picked to do so well in this one. I don't know if Taquito maybe talked about it because he's been hyping up these predictions, but I'm pretty sure he has Low XP as his prediction going all the way into at least the grand finals. So a lot at stake here for the Taquito prediction, as well as maybe a lot of people just with what they expected and have seen so far this weekend from the undefeated Low XP team. But SPK playing a great game so far. Good save by Insight, having to fill in as the keeper on that occasion. Now Ty looking for Pretty once more, and again, Prio up top. It's XV all over it. And just what an unreal defensive masterclass we are witnessing right now.
Yeah, that's one where I really thought that was going to be the first goal we saw here for Low XP, and they're still fighting for it right now, and nobody back. Leroy on a one-on-one little chip won't be enough, and you'll love to see him take a bit more time there, but great scorers, they have an instinct for it. Unfortunately, the keeper just had a better one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe with the dive right there, it looked like Leroy was trying to do a very, very funny shot that's known where you lob it up to yourself and then you dolphin dive into it where the keeper's not able to make the save, but he kind of forgot maybe one of the inputs and he got the longer self lob up right there. So a bit of maybe a misinput on that regard, but in any case, I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy with where they're at right now. Wolfie, 2-goal lead. Time certainly still ticking, and it's this Low XP squad that still are searching for their first goal of the entire quarterfinal, as now Ty has an opportunity to maybe catch the whole team off guard, and even still, Skotos diving back is able to make an incredible save.
I don't know how he got his box there. Felt that the defense was right on him, but unfortunately unable to take him away. And that would have been one where if they steal that ball, it's an open net. You see yourself finally getting that one you need. But final 60 seconds here in game number 2. SPK has simply put, have just come out here and played such a great game here so far. This is their series to win, and they knew that coming into this series, and they knew the dark horse of Low XP was on the other side of them, but they haven't flinched yet.
Just truly remarkable to watch as well. Again, they're 2 goals now in both games. Going to be looking for potentially a third right here as Skotos finds the open man. Mendoza first touching it up high. Looked to be a good spot for Leroy to rise up, but some great defensive work there by Insight. If there's any hope, they're going to have to score at least one right now. Pretty on the far side, nothing there. Keo, another attempt, playing it back in for Ty, and there it is. The masher into the far post. Ty Rematch, one of the greats in this game's history, finding his team's first goal here of the quarterfinal.
And this is what he does. And being able to get big shots, 19 seconds left. It's always said, it's not over till it's over. Let's see if they're going to run the clock out here, if they can find a way to take possession and give one last heartbreak or at least an equalizer.
And that's exactly what it is. With the shot clock, there's no rules at this point, obviously, with under 25 seconds to go, and it's just as easy as that. Hold on to the ball, force the keeper out, having to press, and he's able to just get a freebie. A Leroy brace in game number 2 seals the deal on an SPK victory, and they now go up 2-0 in the series, which means they are one more victory away from knocking off Low XP here in the quarterfinals. I'm not too sure how many people would have had that one in their bracket.
Yeah, and this is one where I think SPK, you're rising to the level of what you are expected to. And, Insight, the keeper here for the opposition, getting MVP for the lobby, 2 saves, 10 interceptions, 10 passes. He was all over the place. And, I'm excited. I think right now Insight's been playing well. Ty's been playing well. Ness is doing a great job inside the net. And, all you can say is what's going to change for themselves. It just seems that they have moments and they stall out.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to watch. I mean, you see the scoreboard there at the end of that game too. Pretty only rocking the 450 points with 1 pass, 1 interception. But obviously, she's trying to play her role. She is the striker of the team, and oftentimes with the way that this game is played, the striker is not overly involved in the buildup in a lot of occasions. They can often sit down on the other end, and a lot of their points on that scoreboard come from, if they are the middleman in that 2-man play, or if they're obviously bagging goals at the end of the day. And in that one, in basically this whole series so far, Pretty, they've been trying to serve it up to her, but I don't think it's really her positioning. I don't even think it's necessarily the passes being that bad. It's just the defense on the side of SPK has truly been brilliant. And you got to give so much credit as well, because as we mentioned coming into the series, their main anchor in Seth is not even out on the pitch here tonight. It is XV subbing in and playing in at that role. And even still, look at what they've been able to do against this Low XP squad, who are trying to get things off to the races with an opening goal. But that defense of SPK has prevailed once again.
That's kind of me the main factor here is those early goals for themselves. They've always had to play through a deficit, and it's so tough. You know, like game one being their first game, we're able to hold them for at least 4.5 minutes, close to 5, and you know it's going to take more than that. You need to find a way to get on the scoreline. More importantly, you need to find a way to get 2. One's not going to be enough.
One's certainly not going to be enough, and we'll see right now. Again, the creativity is the biggest factor right here for Low XP. They got to start diversifying their palette on the offensive end. They have a bunch of people on the team that can score the ball. Keo being one of them, and he tried to sneak that one into the bottom near post corner, but the keeper, Skodos, all over it once again. What a series he has had, and he's been the true backbone of this SBK team. Even the times where his back line isn't able to get a huge stop, he has done it every single time. What a performance it has been for him, and he'll have to keep doing it as obviously they look to pull off the sweep. That one fed in on there for Juice, knocked away by Keo.
And this is where I feel for Low XP, the way to win this game right now is possession control. The less you can allow SBK to have on their foot to get some of these passes going, the better. You know, you've allowed them to kind of dictate the pacing of his last couple games, and you know you have to find a way to get to your own rhythm.
Absolutely do. XV Mendoza up in for Leroy, and Ness, the forward dive, is able to get a save in that regard, but it's not a hold on to it. It's going to be a no sticky glove. It's a punch out. Instead, it was another attempt there on the side of SPK, and although it didn't work out for them, they still have themselves plenty of more opportunities. One of them coming right now. Skodos, Juicy Mall on a relay. Leroy playing it back up on the ground. Juice will just step up and rip it, and it gets blocked away there by Insight for a moment. Could have almost had an opportunity with Ness, looking like he almost wasn't going to pick that up, but fortunately on the side of Low XP, he does.
I don't know, Ness got that ball there. I surely thought it was going to be a goal, but Ty says we're going back to the other way. Dancing to their own groove. The rhythm right now set for Low XP.
Yeah, big moment right here. Again, Ty, their only other goal, or the only goal scorer so far in this series for Low XP, and he's able to deliver one right there. And they do it kind of, again, it's, you know, that's what you kind of think there's the way that they're going to have to do it, is trying to beat SBK down on the pitch and in that counter style of play. As there's a huge mistake on the side of the GK. It looked like Nest kind of dove himself out of the way. SBK almost had an opportunity to tie it up immediately, but it was some heroic defense being played there by Insight, I believe. Keo was well in on the stop. Leroy off the near miss wall, and Juice Yamal on the trail to tap it on through, sneaking behind the falling asleep of the defense, and this game is now tied at 1.
Flip it, put it on the social. That's one you're going to want to re-watch there. A beautiful 1-2 back to 1. Juice Yamal just opening up the can right now. And this one, when you look at goals, this is one where you're going to say that was one of the tournament. A beautiful job to get everyone involved.
Yeah, I love that kind of play. I mean, you and me, you know, we always have the affection for the true team style of goals, you know, when it's not maybe just something as simple. You try to really gear up a great play, and one of them shown right there, able to get the keeper to dive off his line, and also Juice on the perfectly timed cut in and around the two defenders that were kind of in near on the play. Sidewall effort here from XV trying to find Juice. Was a bit of a wilder pass. Juice still able to pick it up though. Keo all over him up against that wall, using it towards his advantage. We'll now have Low XP on the break. Ty, switch pass, finding Insight, who's really moving up here as that anchor. Again, they're really just kind of playing as fluid as possibly they can be, which is maybe what has been their advantage so far this weekend. Juicy Mall, beautifully timed slide tackle. They're trying to shimmy their way towards it. Maybe low on stamina. You can see Juice spamming this one. We'll let it rip inside in for Leroy, and once again, it's inside on another header away.
Well, and you're seeing the defense. They're starting to lock down a bit more here, and that's kind of where you need to be at. I feel for SBK, you've had too many easy looks here, but now the counterattacks, you may be pushing too far. Beautiful job there to give it to a teammate, and a little 1-2 finds a toss and finds a goal.
Yeah, and this is one of the new things, obviously, in this season of Rematch. The keeper deflection here. It's not a bug. It's him diving that way. You know, in the old game, it definitely probably would have made a save right there. You know, the ball would have stuck to his gloves because he dove kind of backwards, and the ball just would have laid up in there. But because he dives away from it rather than just holding his ground or diving forwards towards it, and instead causes deflection, and Pretty is able to tap it on through for her first goal of the series, and almost a response there by SPK, but a nice clearance, at least for the moment. Juicy Mall does find it once again against that wall, but Ness this time around able to secure it.
Oh, 127. 1 goal lead will it hold here? And I love how low XP has come into this game. When we talk a lot about mental, it's so easy to get drained when you're down in a series 2-0 like this. And they've been able to really lock in for a new team who hasn't had too much experience playing with each other in this type of stage. They're starting to get comfortable.
They certainly are, and it's not out of the realm of possibility for a reverse. We already saw one to start the stream, of course, with Narcan losing their first 2 games against Team Moirai, who are considered one of the absolute premier teams in the NA scene for the past month or so, and they were able to come back, rattle off 3 in a row, and so low XP, again, a team that have yet to lose a series all weekend long, are trying to live up to that name, and they'll have to win 3 in a row if they look to keep that one alive. But so much, not really much about the streak as it is just trying to get into the semifinals right now. And a great setup once again. Oh my goodness, it's deja vu, Wolfie. They've run it again. Leroy, an intentional near miss, and it's Juice Jamal on the trail.
Wow, that really explains it. Those 3 letters right there, and felt that the keeper was able to get a touch on it, just kind of phased right through, and a beautiful chance for the teammate Juice Jamal to be there. Perfection. 2-2, under 30 to go here in game number 3. Is overtime in the wings, ladies and gentlemen? We're here to find out.
Man, and a lot at stake as well. At low XP, they're just trying to hold on for dear life. And SPK, they're trying to seal the deal and move into the semis off rip. A good little play back and forth. Again, trying to use that backboard to their advantage. It was Ty and Pretty up into the opposition box, but it was no success. And that does result in an overtime here in game number 3, to which SPK will get the opening look. Side wall, looking for Mendoza. Does trickle its way through on the ground. Gets a pass off before Ty is able to deflect it. Now leads into Insight tumbling forward, knocking this one away. And here he's on the break, finding the open man in Keo. Juicy Mall, no pressure. They'll play a double team on Pretty, which works out for 1 initial block. Now Ty on another attempt gets his legs taken out from underneath by XV.
Just held on to it too long, but this is one where low XP has been playing so well. It's just one where they need to get this win. I know just to be able to stay in this tournament, sure, but I think for themselves, they love the way they play. But Leroy can end it in a second. They're in overtime, but look, it took everybody on the screen.
Oh my, oh my. Ladies and gentlemen, it has happened. Low XP have lost a series for the first time this weekend. A sweep here in the quarterfinals, and it'll have SPK with this starting 5 moving into the semifinals. What a performance from this crew. Juice Jamal, a deserved MVP, again, a guy that we give so much credit to, the true heart and soul of this SPK team. 2 goals, 1 assist, even had 2 saves in that one, Wolfie. It's unbelievable what he's able to do, and it ends up in a sweep. I never would have predicted a sweep in this instance, and now for SPK, that means they're going to take on the winner of Kin or Narcan. That's going to be a crazy series that's happening right now, and I'm more and more excited to see, obviously, how this bracket does flesh out. I can report, though, there has been a couple of updates, or at least just the one in particular that was not here on this main stream. Force-Fed Gaming, for all the people in the chat that have been rocking with Force-Fed Gaming, such as myself, I think they have really, really big things ahead of them. They do get revenge against False Hidden Cypher from Friday after losing to them in the Swiss. They beat them in Game 5 in their quarterfinal matchup, which now has Hidden Cypher against Force-Fed Gaming in the semis.
I gotta ask, is Hidden Cypher in New York here? They have 4 teams in the top 16. I was looking through the bracket right now. That is crazy to see, just to be able to come out there and say, hey, we see talent all over. And this was great to be able to have these orgs that come into these scenes to be able to continue growing it. But the team with the org and SPK moving on, I think for low XP, they just need more time together. I think that's all it really is.
Yeah, I think that's very, very fair to say. And they've had definitely, they shouldn't be upset with themselves. It was such a great weekend for them, obviously, to go into a top 3 seed. I believe they got probably the number 2 overall seed, and even having a win here today and a sweep in their first round. But obviously now they have a little bit of a benchmark or some improvement going into the weekend for the next qualifier. But big time right there from SPK, moving on into the semifinals, which means, again, Narcan or Kin will be the 4th and final team to round out our semifinals of qualifier number 1. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back, obviously, with one of the semi-final matchups here in a moment. We're going to take a quick short break, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome on in. We do have a semi-finals match, our first one, ready to go here in just a moment. Waiting on a couple of the players to feed on into the lobby. It's your boy Pell and Wolfie, as it looks like my microphone was maybe on in the game. They got a little taste, maybe to give them a little flair, because we want the players to actually join the lobby right now. But this is going to be a great one here, Wolfie. I mean, I know you obviously watched the Hidden Cypher match in their opening round, and to be honest, I mean, they deserved this spot. I mean, overall, I mean, they had such an unreal weekend. They went undefeated as well in the Friday Swiss, but so far today they haven't really been tested, I think is the easiest way to say it. Obviously their first round matchup, they didn't have to play it there because their opponent disqualified at being Amy's Army, and then you saw how it went down against Ghostline Zero, who again, I'm a team that's very familiar with Ghostline Zero, but against a team like Hidden Cypher, I did not expect them obviously to really be overly competitive in that one. So Hidden Cypher really had an easy day, at least so far, which means it sets up obviously a bit of an interesting one against a team like ForceFed Gaming on the other side, who have gone up against two of the absolute best teams so far here of the weekend, taking down Lockdown right off the rip, who are considered a top 3 team over the past month or so, and False, who have been on a huge rise, obviously in the Hidden Cypher org as well, and they got revenge against them in Game 5. So ForceFed Gaming, battle tested so far here tonight, going up against the undefeated Hidden Cypher, is going to be an absolute gem in this best of 7.
Well, when you see Red and Sir Grizzlies on a team, you know that's cooking up for a lot of success. So, you know, I don't expect much from them besides greatness, really. And, you know, hopefully it's not too much pressure for them. But I think ForceFed, they're looking really into this tournament to really make a name for themselves more than they already built individually. But, you know, this is an org where, you know, they're in the rematch scene now. They don't want to just say we're participating in the scene. No. We're competing at the highest of levels. And, you know, the series have only gotten better throughout the night.
Yeah, they absolutely have. And when we just really look at these two teams, really their story, of course, coming into this season, you know, you mentioned it, Hidden Cypher, again, the kind of that newer org, and they've just picked up a flurry of amazing teams that have made this top 16 bracket. 4 of them in particular, of course, Ballistic, who unfortunately went out round 1, RSK, aka Risk, who went out also in round number 1, but the main squad and False also getting a couple of wins in their first round. So the only one left, though, of the crew is the main squad in Hidden Cypher. Obviously, it makes a lot of sense to be it that way, but they're trying to do as best as they can to kick off, obviously, the big season here with a qualifier 1 victory. However, ForceFed Gaming, they're familiar with these guys. Of course, ForceFed, they were a team that I've always been, you know, I've been very fond of for a long time. And they've had a very interesting story as well. They were a team that lost a lot of their players a number of weeks ago, including Grizzles and names such as that. And it was really just Red and the Triple B, Manny, who were the only 2 remaining on the squad. And so they've been doing a lot of tryouts over the last number of weeks, have picked up such a great couple of players. And with Grizzles obviously leaving Overdose and looking for a new team, he ended up coming back. And the biggest addition of them all, Wolfie, a guy that you've seen as well and everyone knows at the highest level, a former Army champion in seasons prior, Phoenix. Again, back now, no longer playing as the Cam, is officially their striker, and he has been an absolute cherry on the cake for this ForceFed crew.
Yeah, no, he just rises from the ashes, and when you think things are going to go, and he makes the pitch even hotter than what it really was. But, you know, when you have just goats on that side of ForceFed, a lot of things are looking up for them. But, you know, this is one where we saw Isagi play amazing in that last year on stream. Diz did a great job. They seemed to have a great little 1-2 punch there. And, you know, a lot's going to be eyes on their keeper here tonight. Can you be able to stop Phoenix from getting into the box and, more importantly, getting easy saves? How are the passing going to look for ForceFed? But, you know, for ForceFed, I think they're saying our night's not done. In a single elimination bracket, we have a best of 7 now. So, you know, the best of 5 goes away, gives you a little bit more time to really dissect what the opposition is throwing at you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then a couple of other notes here with some of these players. You look at a guy like Diz on the side of Hidden Cypher. Again, a guy I remember a couple of months ago that was obviously, he was always a GK, and then he ended up giving up the GK position, took a little bit of a break from the game, came back, kind of now playing in a much more attacking role. And it's been a very interesting thing to watch with this Hidden Cypher team that kind of needed someone to go alongside a guy like Isagi. So beautiful work right now so far from Diz, and obviously the whole team as a whole. Obviously Zeptus, again, getting probably some of the biggest recognition he's maybe gotten, and as the anchor. And on the other side, the big one here for ForceFed Gaming, second Gairu, a guy that we've seen, again, another one, you said rise from the ashes, obviously a play for Phoenix, but second is a guy you could say that truly has been, you know, a product from a couple of other leagues, specifically the MRL, has done a great job of putting his name on the map, was one of the most just stunning keepers overall, and he was just did such a great job in last seasons prior as well. Obviously, he made his first big move here with Force-Fed Gaming, and it's been a bit of a tougher one though, because Second again was a guy that was very, very good on his line. You know, he was a very, you know, similar to Turtle in that regard. He's such a good, you know, reaction keeper, so good at making so many of those, you know, dramatic saves that we love to see. But in this game of Rematch now, again, it's not necessarily like that anymore. You know, it's, you know, a little bit more aggressive with the keeper play. So Second has kind of had to change around his play style a little bit. And from the things that I've heard, and clearly with the results that Force-Fed Gaming have been getting over the weekend, he must be on an absolute heater, and the fans are loving it.
Well, fans, if you're wanting to see who's going to come up with this one, make sure you go into chat. Let us know your predictions of this best of 7. And, you know, before we get started, any predictions on yourself here? What are we thinking, Pell?
Now, I don't want to, well, I'll leak it because Taquito, he was talking about his bracket that he made, obviously, coming into the tournament.
Okay.
Now, I will say mine was different than Taquito in that I did have Force-Fed Gaming beating False in that quarterfinal. So this was actually one of my semifinals that I did predict Hidden Cipher against Force-Fed. And I've just been riding with Force-Fed all weekend. I really think they have what it takes to be the first team to give Hidden Cipher a loss in Season 5 here of RME. And will that hold up? I'm not entirely sure, but a best of 7 will give us a lot of time to figure that one out, Wolfie.
Well, this is what Rematch is made for, and I'm looking for fireworks in early. The passing sees itself going, but a good save here, and I always like this from a team. When you're getting great work for the teammates early on, it's really starting to set things up, trying to extend the width of the pitch here to give yourself some easy breathing room, more importantly, some open shooting lanes.
Will be a feed on in there by Manny, instantly cleared away. It is Diz quickly on a 2-on-1 alongside Asagi. Great pass on through, and Second right there. We just talked about how good he is on his line. Had basically having to dive so quick. Just read the animation basically at that point because you would have no chance at trying to react to the ball. Great work there by Second, getting on top of it, and that's a huge first save to open it up and keeping this first minute scoreless.
He has had some quick work right now, and, you know, that always makes me a little worried for a back line when your keeper having to put on this type of performance. But this is where you're saying, hey, this is why he has paid the big bucks. This is why he's there on this team, because we trust him so much, and a good job there on the deflection doesn't allow the keeper to even get in the game there.
Yeah, and in Force-Fed, again, a team that they'll try to hit you with a lot of different looks on the offensive end. Set play, a little bit of tiki-taka, some great passes. It's a lot of creativity that they're going to be relying on. Again, Grizzles, who had that nice couple of weeks stint on Overdose. It was the huge move, the dream move for him, obviously going away from his normal cam position, finding back as a CDM, but now back here on Force-Fed, going back into the offensive role as he tries to let one rip from way outside the park right there, but it does end up in the hands of a former RME champion as well in Holy. Back in the day, regarded as one of the best keepers, if not the best one in NA, and he's back here once again on a brand new squad and finally living up to some of the great teams right now. And it's great to see Holy back in one of the best teams in NA, as you can see him make another save on the pass shot this time around.
And that was one where I think he read it to perfection. Not the hardest of saves for himself, but one that still had a chance to get worrisome. But, you know, 2 minutes into this, both these two teams have seen themselves have a couple knocks on the door there inside the goal. But which one will be able to break on through? And I like the pacing right now. Don't try to overextend. Give yourself small passes to see if someone can open up.
Yeah, and it's different, obviously, right now in terms of the defense. Oh, my goodness, from way outside. It is caught Second sleeping there on the line. I'm pretty sure he thought it was going to be off the wall or something. Someone was going to touch it, but it just goes straight through the air, off the crossbar and down. You couldn't get more pinpoint than that, and what a start. Here it is on the side of Hidden Cipher.
That's just one where you said the laugh as a keeper. You're saying, all right, that one got me. Great shot right there. Great placement. And, you know, I won't be fooled at it again. But, you know, for them to lead now, coming in close into halftime, I think Force-Fed was not expecting to be in a position like this, especially with the type of player that they have. They're trying to see if they can equalize it quickly. This one picked up, an own goal won't go as it's starting to trickle down to the final 3 minutes here in game number 1.
Yeah, quick little couple of MVP activities here from Zeptis. Some might call it a bad pass on his previous time, but it was clearly a good enough of a goal. And now a goal line save as well for the anchor, a man that's been doing it all here in the span of 30 seconds. Great feed on in as they look for Asagi. Great little drag action going to his left, but even a better save by Second Gairu as we are over the halfway mark and Force-Fed currently trailing by 1. Let's see what kind of look they do provide us here. It is Grizzles trying to initiate outside, finding it for Phoenix, and it's perfectly placed. Far post, the middle height, keeper goes flying over it, and this game is now tied at 1.
Oh, rockabye, baby. This one sees itself once again. And, you know, Force Fed, they took their time to get here, but what a beautiful placement there. Just out past the keeper's reach, ties his game up, and in a crucial moment, they put themselves all the way back level.
Just a great pass on in by Grizzles, able to evade some of the pressure. I'm sure he's maybe inspired after his national team of Canada was able to knock the first win of the World Cup knockout stages earlier today, but he might need a little bit more with that one, as you have Asagi, the neo-egoist, tacking on another goal here for Hidden Cypher in a very, very short notice.
And how quickly they reacted there. I looked away to look at the bracket, and he said, all eyes on me, because the action continues to get even more intense. And, you know, that's one where Force Fed, how long it took you to get that goal, to give up back a retaliation one that quickly, you know, it kind of gets your heart pumping a little bit. You don't get a chance to kind of just ease on into it. And now saying, boys, we got to score here quick. We're not running out of time here in game one.
It will be still 2 minutes on the clock, running out of time, but still at least enough to where they don't have to freak out, get a little bit too nervous here. They're going to team that has shown that they are primed up. So maybe some of the best rematch this organization, this team, as core has maybe ever played. That being Red, Manny, and the rest of the crew, Grizzles as well. With this all together, again, they've been on a number of sides. Obviously, the OG 100X team kind of were, you know, they had that demon run, if you guys remember, way back a couple seasons ago, but couldn't get over the line. And right now, again, they are really, really contesting with some of that level of play as Grizzles tries to use the header off that backboard, gets the keeper to flail out, but the defender this time around was able to cover for him. Under 90 seconds to go. Hidden Cypher still up by 1.
Well, this is where Hidden Cypher right now, what a great game one if you can pull it off. And a lot of people having question marks next to your name, just trying to stamp this one with a couple exclamation marks. But, you know, even if you take this game, job's not done. You can't get out of your head. You need a nail in the coffin here with one more goal.
Isagi trying to get into his bag there of the dribbles, which you do see from time to time, but obviously prefers to get himself situated in a nice spot on the PK. This time it'll be Diz as the connecting piece goes for the rainbow, just takes it himself, and likely a dagger goal here. How about the composure and the swagger from Diz as he fakes out second Gairu, and it puts Hidden Cypher now up by 2.
Yeah, and what a shot. He said, Wolf, you want another one? Here it is. Simply but surely, in a big moment, that should extend the lead to end this game. It's going to take a miracle right now for Force Fed to even win game number 1 with the amount of time that's left.
Especially when you consider, obviously, you are encroaching on the spot where it's going to be very easy to kind of just stall out the timer. We see how often it is in this game with teams when they have the chance to stall it out. It's very simple, just pass to the open man. And these guys are so good at passing the ball, Wolfie, that it's really hard for them to not and mess that up, you know, when you go to the open guy. B-Wall hits it for Phoenix. Great pass on in for Grizzles. Oh, what a ball right there. The camming is clearly showing here from Phoenix, and he's got Sir Grizzles on his second goal of game number 1.
Okay, I'll sit back up because I thought this one may have been a slap, but they have come towards the back end. 20 seconds remaining. Not much time left here for Force Fed, but they're showing their fight.
Are showing the fight right now. 10 seconds to go. Correct myself. It wasn't a second goal for Grizzles, but they did the reversal. It was previously, of course, Grizzles to Phoenix, and now they've done it on the other way around. But again, just passing the ball to the same guy, whoever's open, likely to be the keeper. It's Holy who will see off game number 1. A 3-2 victory. A number of goals in this one, proving the Diz goal near late to be a huge critical piece. But look at the overall diversity there on that scoreboard. Not a single player had more than 1 goal or assist. Just everybody in the lobby doing everything.
Yeah, and it's just kind of where you want to see these points kind of spread out. You don't want to make it seem like it's a one-man crew, but no, this is a crew in all sense of the names. What a chance there from Hidden Cypher. And I think for game number 1, you played as best as you could. Now maintain this throughout the rest of this series. You got to win an extra game now. You have the stamina to get it done.
They definitely do, and it's a great start here for Hidden Cypher again, who we kind of talked about how they've had an easy path today. Force Fed on the complete opposite, been certainly battle tested. It's kind of the, maybe, you know, it's an interesting argument right now. You know, you would back almost Force Fed Gaming with that regard in terms of the results, but again, Hidden Cypher, they're just that great of a team that they can make it look very, very easy against whoever they go and play. But a great start here for Hidden Cypher nonetheless. And now let's see what they can do in a game number 2, which we'll see Force Fed Gaming in a very, very desirable red uniforms as they get the opening possession.
A little update here on what's happening on the other side of the bracket right now. It was 1-0 until 0-0 seconds, where Narcan just tied it up to go into OT, currently leading 2-0 in that series against Kin NA. So, another blockbuster match on that side. And as I say it, Narcan just won in that end.
Yeah, it's a huge update right there. Again, Narcan, what they did obviously in the opening series, which we saw on this channel, came back in a reverse sweep after losing the initial 2 against Team Moirai. Certainly riding the wave of momentum, it seems right now, doing it against Kin, who obviously they had a very, very long series. But certainly a conversation going on in that series. Oh my goodness, I almost thought that would have been an own goal right there with the deflection. But fortunately for the side of Hidden Cypher, Holy was in a good position to pick this one up. Minute gone by, nothing to freak out about just about yet. Both teams again feeling it out as it is right now. Holy feeling the pressure, will dish it off now to the man on the switch, and Zeptis rifling it. Shot wall, Diz trying to get there, but the defensive Manny all over it, and it will close the possession there for Hidden.
Yeah, and this is now where this first goal is going to be the most crucial. I think for Force Fed, it has to be to one where you kind of go back in that same type of pace. Hey, let's find out. We know we can score at big lengths, and we know we can get it done. But this one, going to be able to put the first goal on here for Phoenix.
Yeah, big work right here from Force Fed Gaming. Phoenix up there off the backboard. Just great use of that wall, faking out the keeper there in Holy, and a great start on the side of Force Fed Gaming. A much needed lead right now in this one, and they get it relatively early, which we'll have to see Hidden Cypher play a little different than they have in that previous game. We'll see exactly what that entails in a moment. As you can see, Diz, Asagi, both waiting in that box, trying to initiate something. Will Holy just go straight in? He will. It will be Diz. Out onto the A spot is Manny all over it, playing it up very quickly, finds it for Phoenix, and Zeptis with a huge deflection. Good jab at it with no keeper set right there, saving the day once again for Hidden Cypher.
Oh, this is that moment. You see them. They're hunting for it, and they get it. Able to pull it out of a hat. This one going to equalize us all back 1-1.
Yeah, great work again by Asagi. Just a great idea, using that near miss wall, getting the keeper to dive. And Red, he was standing at the line trying to be the hero with no gloves in that instance, but couldn't obviously get to that one. It was just well placed, and Asagi showing why he is still one of the great strikers in this game. We're all tied up. 2 minutes gone by. Red, B-Wall, Grizzles never had a chance, a bit too low. Nova able to rise up and take it away. Grizzles winning it back, though, in for Phoenix, and now knocked down here by Zeptis, who, once again, his name, we've been saying it constantly on both ends of the floor, it feels like, but again, particularly in that anchor role is where you see Zeptis shine.
Well, we got the MVP in that last game. They had 1,000 points over the next person in the lobby. So, he's really starting to show up, and one where it's my first time seeing him play. It's not going to be my last time seeing him because how well he's been able to perform. Can they see one more goal go to take away the equalizer? Good chances, but Nova is just going to give this one up.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a wild pass there from Phoenix. So Grizzles on a whim, instead of going for Prio, didn't realize he had it, had to dive up, try to make something of it, but he not able to do so. So a tough moment to go away there, although Force Fed is moving up. Red with a lot of space to get a nice pass on through. Does find Phoenix, Septis another block. Grizzles now a second effort, lobbing it with just enough power on it. And again, that Hidden Cypher defense doing an amazing job of just keeping it out, trying to force Force Fed to really question what's it going to take right now here in this game too. As Nova up top in for Asagi. It looked like it was bending around the perfect bit of curve, trying to sneak it into the far post, and then second Gairu appears out of nowhere.
Well, it's going to take everything and more right now for both these two teams. They know that these back lines are starting to get into their face, where you're not seeing that Prio be able to be won as easily as they once did. Phoenix may have had a shot there, lets it go wide, and that's going to allow for this opposition and in Cypher just to reset here to the keeper.
Yeah, still a long series to go. Right now in the middle of game number 2, tied up after Hidden Cypher took a decisive, or just very close again at that edge of the one. Good little jab at it there by Diz, catching second off for a moment, but his defense able to help him out. Does get a bit of an unfortunate interaction as he tried to dive on that ball. Again, it's just kind of how it is sometimes. If, at the end of the day, they've made GK, and although, GK is tough, obviously, I can speak in my own experience. It's a lot tougher now, and, for some it might be unfavorable with the way you have to play it, but they did make it obviously a bit more skillful, I would say, certainly with the dives and obviously with the deflections that happen. And you can see maybe a product of it right here. It's Sir Grizzles of Canada who rifles in another goal here in this series, and it's put Force Fed Gaming back up by 1.
Oh, Canada. Oh, my, what a goal here. And Sir Grizzles, this is a reason he's a vet. And I think they should capitalize that there on his patch because, you know, he's been able to do this since the start of this game. And, you know, a very favorable player here and a lot of fans. And that's why, you know, you put him on your org, you know he's going to step up when the moment needs it.
Certainly so, and I think I kind of like actually referring to Sir Grizzles the man, like, you know, Sir Grizzles of Canada. I think we should be able to do that with a lot of these players, although I think a lot of them will probably just be, you know, of America. And I also don't know in particular because, you know, it looks like a lot of people are just rocking whatever flag they kind of want right now at the end of the day. Asagi, a second shot, oh my goodness, trying to just blow it by into the near edge. And how about second Gairu living up on his line once more? Force Fed Gaming with that incredible save, able to hold on to a 1-goal lead with 1 minute to go. And now it'll be on the captain, the main man of this team, Red, the emotional leader. It's what I like to call him. Again, one of the most beloved people in the Rematch community. As a great little back and forth here between Phoenix and Grizzles. We'll find Phoenix bagging home what is likely to be the dagger here in game 2.
Well, it looks like Viltrumite, he's playing the hero role tonight. What a chance for himself. Just looks unstoppable, invincible, if you like to say the least. But is a 2-goal lead too much to overcome? I would say so. But Hidden Cypher, they're trying to see if they can pull off a shocker.
Yeah, and I think really just looking at this force-fed team, I mean, I knew on paper what it was going to be, but really watching it live right now in the flesh against a team that is going to be fighting for the title all season long in Hidden Cypher, you could just see how perfect and oiled up this machine is. I mean, it's just so well made with the positions of everyone. It's so great to see Grizzles back in at the cam, his natural position, because he's so good at the play creation, the offensive opportunities. Although hold that one right there, Wolfie. It's kind of deja vu from game 1, but just on the other side of it, as Diz will score a goal to make it interesting here in the final 20 seconds.
What just happened here? It just seemed that the keeper may have just been fooled, may have thought it was just going to kind of bang off the crossbar, but, you know, goes right through. Final 13 seconds. Is it too late here in the last couple? Is that one? But the heartbeat of the sleeves of the fans here for Cypher.
Yeah, definitely going to be the end of this one. Just a very easy hold on to right there by Second. Not trying to take a risk and just blast it down with the open net, holding on to it. A very smart play. And there it is, folks. Force Fed Gaming, after losing 3-2 in game 1, get a 3-2 of their own. Despite that, Nova, who I feel like we haven't necessarily called out in particular, with an MVP performance, him and Zeptus tied on points. But my, oh my, I think that's because, you know, we don't have to talk about Nova because we already know what Nova's going to do. I mean, again, we're arguably considered the greatest to play the game in the position that he plays in particular, no matter where he goes. He's a champion. I believe the stat, maybe someone in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong because my memory, but I'm pretty sure Nova has won the RME championship, the season title every single season so far. So that is some heavy weight on the shoulders for Hidden Cypher if that is true. So I mean, my goodness, we know what Nova's going to be able to do. Force-fed, though, trying to be their first big blemish in that, you know, that streak.
Yeah, talk about dominance. That kind of just shows you there. But, you know, it takes those types of games to be able to come out here and be great teams right now. It's one where all 5 have to be in sync. And, you know, now coming into game number 3, the swing game, potentially trying to go up into the series, both these two teams with 1 win apiece here in the best of 7.
Yeah, it will be. And oh my God, is that Dirty Toro in the chat? Yes, Dirty. It is indeed me alongside Wolfie. We got a 1-1 series here. Game number 3. Holy, we'll get us started with sidewall. Nova in for Diz, playing it back on in for Asagi. And it gets knocked away there by Red. A nice tone setter on the side of Hidden Cypher. A little 3-man weave in it. But unfortunately for them, it was some good defense being played there by the main man at the back in Red to end what was a pretty promising look. Now, Force Fed trying to get one of their own. It will be Grizzles. There's a lot of space in the corners. They run a 6 inside, but it was a bit scuffed, ended up deflected and into the hands of Holy.
And now it's kind of saying we saw a lot of quick goals here in game number 2. I want to see if he goes back to that, or these defenses are starting to understand how a lot of these passes have been coming in. I like the difference that we've seen, the evolution of the game plan. It slowly started evolving as this series has gone along. And both these two teams, they haven't been complacent. They've been doing a great job of reacting and refining.
Certainly have. Diz, good follow through. In for Asagi, and oh my goodness, second got probably one of the worst animations in that timing I think I've ever seen. Fortunate to keep that one away, and now another one that just goes straight off his chest, it looked like, kind of bumped it, and they keep it away. A couple of funny moments there for ForceFed, but as long as it keeps the ball out of the back of the net, they are certainly doing their job in full. Red, Phoenix, good header in for Grizzles as he was left alone, but Holy rising up aggression, not only gets the save, but gets a huge outlet on the other end with Diz, who just fires it into the far post, and it puts Hidden Cypher up by 1.
Well, they scored first in the last game. They've done a great job of showing off its offensive prowess, but can you be able to maintain it when you have these type of shots? They certainly think so.
And what a moment right there. Again, Holy's a great couple of saves to kick us off here in this game 3, and to find the quick pass out all the way deep on the other end, and a huge mistake here by Second, and Diz will get a freebie goal number 2. A quick brace for the man up top, and how about this turn of events for Hidden Cypher?
I never want to talk bad, but that's a moment where you can't have that type of mistake there. The sense virgin has to be at an all-time high, but what a chance for Diz. Just smelt the blood in the water, just attacked, and was able to come up too. This is a great position here for this squad, but ForceFed, now how do you react in the face of adversity? You are down here, and a potential 2 goals, that's tough to come back from.
Yeah, we know the history of ForceFed as well. They cannot let any of those kind of crazy errors or mistakes get to them. They still have what it takes, certainly, to bring this one back, down by 2 in an even series. Asagi looking for Diz, trying to get the man a hat trick, it seems, early on here in this game, as he is a bit red hot. I believe he's scored in all 3 games so far here in the semifinal. Phoenix, top box, finding it for Grizzles, trying to go into that left side, upper bins, maybe a downspin on that one. Maybe he was trying to go underneath the keeper dive. It is on Phoenix, so to win it back into the corner. Will just dish it off now on the drop there. It is Manny launching it all the way through. Collision up top. So many people rising up for the occasion, and eventually now it's just a battle here on the ground.
And I love the patience there from Nova. Understand the defense playing on tight, so kind of taking his time, allow for that tackle to come in. Just use EE to win possession, and let's see if it turns into a goal here.
Zeptis trying to figure out something. They're going to try to see if they can get Holy off his line, and they almost did. Very, very similar of the one that we saw in the previous round, Wolfie, with Skotos. He made a save of that one. It looked like the keeper diving on the ground to make that save. Oh my goodness, a great chest. Honestly, really from both sides, I feel like it was a great opportunity from ForceFed trying to get that one, a freebie, if you will, to cut the deficit in half. But instead, Holy with another remarkable save. Still another opportunity. Grizzles in for Phoenix, and another one cleared away. Zeptis, my oh my.
Well, this is where I want Cypher just take their time a little bit more. You don't have to push the envelope. I know you're looking for that 3rd goal, but last thing you need to do is give ForceFed opportunity to the ball, because they're going to score. This team is not going to allow that goose egg to stay on the board for too much longer. If you can find a way to control time and give them even less chances, that's a win in itself.
Maybe only the 2nd time here in this game. We see Second now bring it up over the halfway line. He'll rip it off B-wall. Manny is able to get to it over Diz, but the pass going inside that top box region was indeed cleared away. Asagi now with the ball at his feet. Oh my goodness, look at that dribble. Little highlight. Now tries to get it in for Nova on a heat check, but him and Nova not on the same page. A bit of a reversal of roles between those two, and so maybe part of the reason why that one was unsuccessful. Red, captain leader here, trying to get his team up on the board, just give him some hope in this game, because I mean, when that first goal comes, maybe with 45 seconds or so left in this game, it almost feels like it's just not enough time in these games. We've seen it time and time again, how it's just not enough to really get over the line if you scored within that final minute. Diz, good header of control, has a lot of space going near post, and Second's done it again.
I love that there. It was one where I thought he was going to pass it off, but he said, exactly. Everybody thinks I'm going to use my teammate here, but I'm going to try to see if I can sneak one in. That one was as close as you can ask for. Diz, keep shooting. It's going to eventually go in.
Holy will tilt the camera up, just send a bomb down. It's a perfect pass on in for Asagi, but he does lose it for a moment there with the triple B. Manny in on the defensive stop. And again, final 60 seconds. ForceFed can't really make too much of a mistake now, although they do have given it away once more. Nova playing it out to the open man in Zeptis. Asagi and Diz looking for the finishing touches here on game 3, right down the middle. Again, another one maybe miscommunicated. Grizzles recognizing the time situation, tries to get it off fast, and a save by Holy. Great keeping performance on the line from both of these two here in game 3, but clearly the better one on the side of Hidden Cypher.
Oh, and that's one where I thought that was the best chance Force Fed has had in this game here so far. And, unfortunately, just can't be able to connect. And this is kind of where you're telling yourself, hey, you might need to start changing things up. Oh, what a chance to put him in a blender. That one's going to go for the 3rd goal. This one, show your fans, up to the sky. Isagi does it once again.
Yeah, Isagi or Isagi, whatever you want to call him, maybe the neo-egoist, the king of the new world, whatever it is, how many names he's had is probably more than maybe anybody could ever count on Steam. But regardless of what it is, we know what he's capable of, and it's a strong goal and a 3-goal victory in game 3. Very right on the nose, if you will. Hidden Cypher back up in the series lead. It's 2-1.
Yeah, and Holy just grabbing the MVP there. Ooh, what a chance for himself. 4 saves into the net. And, I'm loving the way this team's performing right now. We saw a lot from Isagi back in that first game and that we saw from himself. Now, this has just come up as a huge contender. I said he was the number 2 on this team. He's starting to say, no, it's 1A and 1B.
Yeah, and that would be a huge statement as well. And just look at what they've been doing this whole time. I mean, Diz and Asagi, they're getting the job done up front. And then with Zeptis, Holy, and Nova, they've been counting so many saves so far, only 3 games into this series. Of course, Holy, we expect that as the keeper. But Zeptis, I mean, that's why part of the reason why he had basically 2 MVPs in those first 2 games. I mean, he was just doing so much in terms of the final man, the last man back, just getting a huge block where his keeper might not have been able to get it. So great work from Zeptis, great work from Nova, and a shutout clean sheet here in game 3 has Hidden Cypher back up in the series lead, to which we now will pivot on into game number 4. Once again, it'll be Force Fed now starting off with the ball, back in the red uniforms. Let's see what they have on the adjustments to make after getting shut out in the previous.
Oh, and this is kind of now or never here for Force Fed. Being down 2-1, that's manageable because you can come right here, put it right back to an even series and make it a best of 3 for the rest of the way for the most part. But, if you can't allow yourself to at least see the first goal, where if you've allowed, the last 3 games to kind of see a deficit early, that's tough to win at any level of rematch.
Holy deep into the corner looking for his man. I couldn't tell if he was kind of in between sidewall and maybe into the corner. It was a bit of a wild one. Manny is able to pick it up if they dish it off. 3 guys guarding Phoenix right now, maybe leaving Grizzles open on the far post, but it is Zeptis that comes out of the woods with this ball, is mashing it up, trying to beat his man from behind, finds an Asagi in second with some good aggression, is able to record not only a save, but a quick out here for Phoenix, and Holy is coming off his line, tries to grab it. Phoenix read it like a book and taps it on through for the opening goal here for Force Fed Gaming.
Well, they said you want to see you get the first goal. Here it is, but unfortunately for the keeper, just dove there and just guessed wrong. And that in the first 103, first goal is going to go to Force Fed. In a must-win game, they're giving themselves an even better chance.
Sometimes it's the simple things right there at the end of the day. I mean, it's just a great move. Really, from both sides, can't blame Holy too much. He's trying to be proactive and keep that one away. But Phoenix was with a great dribble, and oh my goodness, a huge missed opportunity there as they had Phoenix on a run, but the pass on through had a bit of curve on it, and so it bent away from Phoenix going straight up. Would have been another one-on-one between him and Holy. Instead, back here for the boys in black, Hidden Cypher, Zeptis, curling one Diz, going straight on through. What a use of the head, far post, right up into the bottom. It's an unreal placement from an unreal player.
And that is what you're looking for in this type of moment. And, these two have been a tandem so far and working out to perfection, able to get a big retaliation goal. And that's what you need. Stop any momentum that Force Fed is trying to go. Do not let them eat. Say, hey, this is not a buffet tonight. This is a 1-course meal, and get out of the seat.
And I'm just absolutely loving with what we were seeing with Diz right now. I mean, he is doing incredible stuff, just so aggressive on the attacking front, scoring a number of goals. Has scored more, I believe, than Asagi has here in this series so far. Grizzles just a bit too long on that one. Phoenix not able to get the diamond up top. And so Hidden Cypher now very quickly with everybody making a run will go up on the other way. It is Asagi going straight down the middle. Second able to meet him up top. recording himself another save. And again, I got to calm down here. You don't want to go down 3-1 in this series. Best of 7 obviously would require you to rattle off 3 in a row against a team that is yet to lose a series all weekend long. Phoenix trying to find Grizzles, nothing there with Zeptis once again rising up for the stop.
And I love how they've kind of taken out Phoenix from this series. He hasn't been playing the big role he's used to. He's doing a great job, sure, but it's where you've seen him do way more impact. And I just think it's some great game planning here from this Cypher side.
We'll be on red, trying to initiate something. Grizzles, maybe a double left opportunity. Nothing really coming of that one. Sent away very strongly. Finds Asagi. Will he just take it himself? Yes, he will. And for a moment there on the spectator, it looked like he would have actually had the keeper beat. But Second is able to just hold on to his defensive stance and just fall to his left side, recording another save. I think I also heard the iron there, so potentially just smacked it off the post into the keeper's hands. Manny freeing himself up with Diz in front of the way. Now looking for somebody. Will be Grizzles off that B wall, just taking it from the negative angle, which we haven't seen in a long, long time, Wolfie, and maybe we could see why. It didn't really work out too well for him right there.
Well, you got to expect the unexpected, and I think Grizzles there said, let me go back into my playbook real quick and what I've seen work in the past. And, you have to keep trying. They're kind of at a deadlock right now in terms of how their goals have been coming in, and it has not been easy. It's not been simple, and it's one where I've really liked seeing the creativity that they've been able to produce.
Yeah, and the defense has completely turned it around here for Hidden Cypher in the past 2 games. It's only 1 goal in 8 minutes of time here for Force Fed Gaming. Trying to turn it around, though, as they run up into a 6, but they cannot connect. Grizzles just a bit behind the run there of Phoenix. Not too sure if it was just a bit late or if Phoenix was a bit too far forward. You never truly know. Red, Phoenix on the right side, just a bit rushed in terms of his run, gets sent away there by Nova, all the way down. Asagi is able to pick it up. Second now having to go track back into his line. Will feed it in for the hot hand and Diz, but it now gets sent by the header of Manny.
And this team right now doing a great job picking the pockets and really showing some of his unselfishness, getting everyone involved. But, this is where I feel this team right now. They're trying to get into sync. There's little moments where I see they're off their line, a little off their key, but they've been able to mix it in, mix it well. Force Fed Gaining, trying to see if they can stop such a very electric team who has just caught fire.
Yeah, and it's been really the big story right now. Both teams, the anchors, the CDMs of these squads, really doing a lot to keep a lot of these balls away. It haven't really been too much of a keeper-heavy matchup. It's just been the back line, been doing a lot of the dirty work. And Sir Grizzles, in the chaos, 3 defenders around him, has found himself the pot of gold. Taps it on through, and Force Fed Gaming are back on top here in Game 4.
And they're winning the numbers inside the box. Just everybody kind of got a little disoriented as that shot came in. And when you can beat 3 to grab goal number 2 in the final 60 seconds, you're doing a good thing. But do they have one more in the tank to at least take us to an overtime? Or will this end here in regulation?
Zeptis, top box. Diz goes flying with the Dolphin. Not too sure what that was. Diz, though, just pick it up. Trying to maybe finagle his way on into the box, but he sees 3 with the red jerseys, so he backs away from it. Now Nova swinging it to his left, finds Asagi going far post, and Second Gairu able to record another cold-blooded save here in the clutch. Big time from the Force-Fed keeper.
Now, he made that look easy. He just read that to perfection, put himself in a great spot, didn't have to overexert. But, this is where Chancellor is still coming in. Things are looking good. It will be too far off his foot. Thought it would be, but the keeper holds on to his water, able to stay calm, cool, and collective as the final 10 seconds underway, and Force Fed trying to tie the series up.
And they will be able to do exactly that. A little bit of dangerous keep away here in the stretch, and Phoenix will tap on 1 goal here for good measure. A beautiful save from Second leads to a quick little time waste, and Force Fed Gaming have done exactly that. It's a back and forth series as we now find ourselves going into Game 5, tied 2.
Well, it's just been a back and forth. I like the way they've been able to kind of play this tug-of-war match here so far. Now we're basically at best of 3 the entire way. The next team to win 2 finds himself moving on to the next round. And, they have been putting on a show for everybody involved here so far.
Yeah, and it's an incredible game right there. Needed it bad from second Gyru, especially off the back of, a game where it's not his fault, but he had obviously the error in the previous game where he just completely gave it away, and it was a free goal in there by Diz. But 4 saves and assists as well in that 1 second, doing a great job. A couple of clutch saves as well in that final minute. Huge win for ForceFed Gaming as they bounce back after a 3-0 defeat. Now to once again respond 2-2 series here, Wolfie. We've kind of seen a lot of tricks from both of these two sides. Where do we see this one kind of going, and what these two teams are really trying to do moving forward?
I say this has to go to Game 7. I think the way they're both playing, you got to give it to us here as the viewers and the commentators up in the booth. We want to see this type of action, especially before a grand finals. But rest is also a big portion. You don't want to play any more than you need to. So the most important game currently on our screens, ladies and gentlemen, 6 minutes to find who takes it and gets one step closer to the grand finals.
Initial look here right out of the get-go was Zeptis trying to hit Diz up on the floor, not able to do so, with 3 in the box back there for ForceFed. Obviously, everyone but Phoenix back in on the stop. It will be Red, who is left alone. Now only 2 in the box in contrast on the other end for Hidden Cypher. But when you got those 2 in particular, Nova and Zeptis, you feel pretty comfortable in the formation that you are running. It's a bit of an offense-defense, a little difference as well between these two sides. Excited to see where it kind of goes now from here. Zeptis in for Asagi, again knocked away by Red. Follows it up with a slide tackle, perfectly timed. But even still, Zeptis is going to be the first one to do it.
And it's where he's been playing amazing. I think every time we see some of these plays come through, his name has been involved in a lot of them. But here, Diz trying to see if he can give it off to a teammate. Great job there from Grizz to be able to push that away. Continue showing that Canadian spirit so far. And he's been sticking on to him like maple syrup throughout the series.
He absolutely has. And oh my goodness, almost an own goal or potentially on the other end, but it actually ended up being a pretty insightful dive up top there by Holy, well off his line, diving up, knocking it away. I'm not too sure if it was going to be on path there to go over the line, but in any case, they do keep it away, quarter of the way through. Holy, middle of the field, will bend one right side, hitting it for Diz, doesn't get it initially, now has to figure it out on the ground, just go for the short slide and wins this ball back here for Hidden Cypher. Now with Zeptis over the middle, nice little fake pass, we'll send in another one, but evades everybody except for the keeper, who just goes diving right down the middle to record another save.
This series goes the length of it. ForceFed has to be looked. This is a team that just came off game number 5, so they know what it is to play pressure. Where Hidden Cypher, they've been perfect all the way through this top 16 bracket. So this is the most adversity they've seen. But I think they want some redemption there for their other teammates and false Hidden Cypher.
Certainly do. Asagi trying to go there onto the ground. That far post again, slightly a bit favored with the kind of striker that he is. A couple of players we know love to go into that far side. Grizzles, good couple of fakes. Nova sticking to him. Like you said, the maple syrup Phoenix is able to get the shot off despite the keeper basically face guarding him. And it's given ForceFed the lead here in game 5.
Well, we said in the last game, Phoenix has been a bit quiet, but able to come out with a bang to start things off. Almost able to get a glove on it, but will not be able to. 36 seconds until halftime, and the lead has finally changed here for the first time in this game, and this is huge for this team. ForceFed, they started slow off this series. They've gotten better as it's gone through, but, Hidden Cypher, they've played very well. It's just they continue getting these little moments where you're seeing ForceFed really start playing to their true selves.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to see, if you are a ForceFed fan, what they're doing right now, finally coming back to life here after it looked to be a bit dark for one of those games. Grizzle shot up top. Great save there by numero uno in Holy. Maybe a bit of a statement as to himself as the keeper still in this game, trying to really put himself and his team back into that top premier winning position. Over the halfway mark, still just the 1 goal so far. Nova and Cypher looking to change that. It will be in near side for Diz, headed up top box, looking for Asagi, but that 3-man in the box right now from ForceFed doing a lot of service here to keep out a lot of the attacking threats that we saw previously. But Diz with an incredible move, an intentional miss potentially, whatever you want to call it, we'll see it again, but it scores the tying goal.
No matter what, Mr. Not, you have to just say calculated. I meant to do that. I wanted him to move out of the way, be able to slot this one back. But, Diz's creativity so far, his ability to not just have a first look, uses those sidewalls, backboard to his full advantage. And, in a critical moment when this team needed an equalizer, they're back knotted at 1.
It's just truly crazy what we are witnessing right now with Diz. Again, a guy retired for a moment, switching positions, doing what he's doing right now, and is really almost kind of being the #1 guy for this Hidden Cypher team. Tries to take it again, although 3 defenders in front of him will be able to form enough of a wall to block that shot down. Now a foot race, 2 against 1. It is Manny and Grizzles that were able to win it for a moment. Couple of deflections, now a couple of extra efforts as well. A bad ball trying to go back for the GK, sets up Asagi, who jukes out second Kairu. A terrible giveaway there by ForceFed, and just in a blink of an eye here, Wolfie, Hidden Cypher has themselves the lead.
Yeah, you can't put a one-on-one position with him because he's going to score 9 times out of 10, but his perfection continues to amaze us. This team, they have fought hard. They've got back into the lead for the first time this game, and you know, I've loved the way Hidden Cypher has been playing. It just seems that even when they're down, they're never out. They have the playmakers to be able to get it done. But I think for ForceFed, this is that moment where they know it's now or never. They cannot get to a point where they're at series point next game.
Yeah, certainly upset with themselves, probably with the way that they've just given away a couple of those goals. Maybe not so much the first one as it was the second one, but they got to put that behind themselves. They know what they got to do. Score a goal here, at least to give yourselves some chance. They got to get another stop, though, if they want any chance at that. Asagi testing out second in his jumpiness there on the line, which was basically a successful pass there for second, as it was well off to the side wall. It is now second tasked with bringing this one up, initiating a play. Let's see what they like to look. It looks like it's Grizzles going off that side wall-ish. Phoenix heading it back in for Manny. Oh, and what a goal line save here by Zeptis, who's done it again.
Yeah, he's just putting himself down in this series as one of the all-time greats in this game right now. And, you know, to be able to be all over the pitch and be as consistent as he has been, it's so tough to do so, but he's showing what all the grind looks like, but still having some time in this one. Cannot count your chickens before they hatch here as Phoenix to Grizzles. No, it will not. Beautiful chance there from Ho Lee.
Great work right there. Again, Holy, just remarkable what he's able to do. Good use of this near miss there. Asagi trying to slam it, but he was a bit too close to the wall, so he's not able to really follow through with that opportunity despite the keeper jumping away. 15 seconds to go. It's now or never for ForceFed. Manny, Phoenix, outside in for Grizzles, and it's blocked away. 2-man help out there. Diz and Nova able to clear it up, and now Diz swinging it onto the open man in Zeptis, and that will certainly seal the deal on Game 5. A comeback win here for Hidden Cypher, as they are now one more game victory away from a trip to the finals.
Yeah, what a chance here. This team, they have really opened my eyes, and I'm a believer now. ForceFed, you're playing great, but it just seems that for some reason, Hidden Cypher just has something hidden inside them to be able to come out and pull off these type of wins, because it's not easy. Yes, we talked about maybe one goal they got here against ForceFed that may have been a little easier than they would have expected, but right now, ForceFed, they're playing good, but I'm seeing Cypher play even better.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is, you know, I don't want to come down to certain moments, but obviously it looks like ForceFed, there might just be having those small mistakes that turn into bigger mistakes, whereas Hidden Cypher aren't really having those right now. Obviously, the bad giveaway from, I believe maybe it was Grizzles trying to go back there for the keeper, ended up with his keeper stranded in a one-on-one, and obviously that was a goal that was scored for Hidden Cypher. And a couple of moments like that so far in the series for ForceFed Gaming could be the deciding factor in whether or not they were able to reach the finals here, and we're going to find out right now. Game number 6, it's gone back and forth. They've traded every single game. Neither side has won consecutive games in this series, which means if that pattern holds true, it would be ForceFed a victory to force Game 7. Let's see how they kick it off, as it is Phoenix taking a beautiful rainbow touch, and he follows it through with an absolute strike into the far side. 15 seconds gone by, and ForceFed have the lead.
Well, this is how they started the last game. Phoenix with an absolute spectacular goal to be able to beat everyone. Sees a small touch. We're talking about the mistakes. That's one that may have gotten away from them. Phoenix just seeing that one behind the net. Great job here in the first 20, but still a lot of game to go.
A lot of game to go indeed. Zeptis with an opportunity there, looking in for Asagi, now trying to feed it in for Diz, the hot man again, going well deep inside that 6-yard box. Again, just so many red bodies there for ForceFed. Clearly, obviously, trying to play a bit more defensive in the way rather than Hidden Cypher. Zeptis again, trying to get it over Grizzles, not able to do so on that attempt. Still plenty of opportunity, though, to come about if you are Hidden Cypher. Again, a very creative team, and some of the ways that they're scoring their goals certainly some interesting ones that you don't normally always see. And that, again, a lot on the shoulders of Diz and what he's been able to do, as well as Asagi, his use of the intentional miss, backboard, near miss. It's been doing a lot of damage on this force-fed back line. And that's why, obviously, they have the series lead, it feels like, right now. But, again, the early start here from Phoenix, it's just a great way and a much-needed start here for force-fed.
And, you know, for force-fed, we talk about no one being able to double dip here so far. Well, they're going to have to. This has to be that chance where Game 6 has to be your best game. And Game 7, you got to play even better there. But a quick update on the other side right now, 2-0. Narcan currently winning that series, and you know they're trying to see themselves go to the grand finals. And they, you know, that's a team that's been tested. I think both of these two squads wish to be able to see that series, to see what those two teams have in store for them. But they have the hands full right now.
Yeah, very, very interesting if Narcan is able to reach the finals after all, after a bit of a shaky start here to the tournament today. But again, we'll talk about that more on that later. Manny, Phoenix, good heading up in for Grizzles, who takes off the post, comes right back to him. He loses the ball, though, and it ends up into the midst of Holy. A fortunate break there for Hidden Cypher, as it looked very, very promising for ForceFed.
Well, this is where, you know, for ForceFed right now, this team, they've been playing tooth and nail. I would say good enough to try to take a win right now. But, you know, it's been these little moments where I like this possessional change. Phoenix takes it away, sees the keeper out, but off the top will not have a chance onto net. It will just be a reset here with 3:33.
Yeah, Phoenix testing his luck. It was a great opportunity. He might have another one here, trying to go for the chip, and he will just take it right around. Perfectly bent around the dive of Holy. Just a bit too aggressive there. A couple of occasions for the GK of Hidden Cypher. And now a very, very nice 2-goal lead if you are a fan of ForceFed Gaming, both coming from their main man in Phoenix.
Well, you know, and especially here in this qualifier, you want to be able to put your best foot forward. And I think both these two teams have done that right now. But this is not the end of our road. Up by 2. Game 7, more than likely here, it's going to take a huge comeback to be able to get one going. And a beautiful save there does not allow it. And, you know, second, he has had some shots that kind of wore it away. But consistently, I've loved his play style here in this series so far.
Yeah, it's a brilliant save right there on the side of second Gairu, and it's a true tip of the cap right now. And ForceFed, they know it's at stake. They're currently playing like it is what you love to see, knowing what is at stake. Got to keep themselves alive. Got to take it one game at a time. And they've done so very early on here in the first half of game number 6. And it's on Zeptis to pick it up here for free. And maybe slowing down the tempo here for the first time in a little bit if you are Hidden Cypher, which maybe is not exactly what they want to do, given with the way that ForceFed are playing on their defensive end. We'll try to find this one. Everyone on the ball right now, just duking it out on the ground. It is Nova chipping it up, playing it back on the wall, trying to keep it into an attacking threat. It gets deflected everywhere here, Wolfie, but eventually it finds the right man after all.
I just had nowhere to go with it and just try to see if he can play a hero ball. And unfortunately, it just goes back the other way. But, you know, final 2 minutes, 60 seconds, you have a piece to try to get a goal right now. If you're Hidden Cypher, they're going to have to get on their horse quickly. This is where you have to show up in a big way. I do not want to see Game 7 against ForceFed.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be very interesting to see. I mean, that's the matchup I think everyone wants to truly see, though. Get to Game 7. Haven't had one. Obviously, it's the first qualifier. Could we reach a Game 7 in the first possible series that could even have one? Phoenix once again on the break. Goes for a fake shot. Now tries to dribble it more centrally. It is Zeptis all over him, though. Holy diving everywhere with not some very decisive dives, though. Not too sure if that was his choice. Over the top, looking for Grizzles. Just sails right over the top of him, and then it is eventually is Nova that steps in to rip that one away.
And this is kind of where, you know, when ForceFed start getting going, once they lock in, this is such a good squad. There's why there's so much hype around them. They have such great players, and I know their org right now is saying, hey, we believe in this team. It doesn't matter how they're down in the series. They've been able to come back, claw their way back, and see ways to put it right back onto their plate. But back the other way, can they see a teammate trying to dribble with this, but will just get taken away quickly?
Yeah, Grizzles making up for right there. He had one touch too many. They gave it away initially, but wins it back after Hidden Cypher didn't have many opportunities up front. Phoenix, a couple of rainbows set up, finds an open man. Sir Grizzles one-on-one against Holy, but a bit too close. Holy just timing that dive up perfectly, ripping that ball away. 30 seconds on the clock, though, here, Wolfie. Me and you, we both know we've seen this outcome many a times. It's almost impossible at this point to come back into the game, although they do at least leave a bit more time than we are used to. 29 seconds, and the Neo Egoist, a.k.a. Asagi, has given them life.
Well, hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen. Finding ways to pick it up. 29 seconds. This is where we're just going to see keep away. I would be very surprised if you see Force Fed get a bit too aggressive right now. This is where we're just trying to play space. Do not allow for any sort of adversity to come your way. Keep it simple, keep it easy, and see yourself in game 7.
And they might go aggressive here. Phoenix, yeah, the fake shot. Oh, and now the open net, just wonderfully worked here by Phoenix, getting a hat trick to secure the W, most importantly for ForceFed Gaming, as it wasn't a full-on stall. Phoenix able to get it. Holy had to come out, or that was Zeptis with the gloves on, trying to win that ball back, but just another dribble to the side and a huge win, and that's officially gonna do it, folks. We are gonna go into the most desired thing in Rematch. Game 7 here in the semifinals. Hidden Cypher against ForceFed Gaming.
Oh man, that's what I mentioned. If I'm Hidden Cypher, the last thing I want to do is see game 7 against ForceFed, but it's put onto the dockets. It's put on to the storyline that's been the journey of both these two teams. They have played spectacular, but one of them has to go after this next 6 minutes.
They absolutely do, and what a performance it was all around from the team. Phoenix, of course, got the hat trick in this game with some good breakaway goals, but everyone else on the team had exactly one save. Everyone doing their part defensively. Again, you can see the identity with what they want to run. Everybody but Phoenix is back there in the box trying to hold down the fort, helping out their keeper second Gairu a lot. So great work there from ForceFed. Will we see it continue? Will they spice it up a little bit is the big question, because every single time, again, one of these two sides has gotten a win, their opponent has answered back with even a better one. So if the pattern continues, Hidden Cypher will have the game 7 victory. However, does ForceFed have it in them to maybe put a true shockwave into this semifinal and find themselves into the big finale at the end? Let's find out here together.
Make sure chat put who you think is going to take this one, because for some reason chat, they always have that crystal ball. They always know ball at the end of the day, and I'm expecting them to come out with another banger of a prediction. But how important is going to be this first goal? Both these two teams need to find a way to get this lead. More importantly, hold on to it. Allow yourself to control the tempo, control the pressure. Are we going to see an OT? I wouldn't mind that either.
Wouldn't mind that at all. Great opening look here for Asagi. It was a great feed in as well by the man of the hour in Diz, but just a better save to cap off that look from Hidden by second Gairu. Great bender on out to the right edge. It is finding Sir Grizzles. Phoenix one-on-one here against Zeptis. They'll test their luck going way outside, playing it back in for Grizzles. One touch going backwards. Maybe a bit too much is what they were trying to do, and it ends up with Nova knocking that one away.
This is kind of one of those games where I wonder what the calls are like right now in their Discord call. How is the communication? Are you all sound is good comms, or are these players just putting themselves in a moment, or they just need to concentrate, but they need to find a way to get that man the ball? Diz does it again.
Does it again. Just a great spot to be in here by Diz. We haven't seen this too much on the side of Hidden Cypher, running into that 6-yard box, trying to get really up close, just catch them on the far post, and they've done it wonderfully. So a great ball on through, and it finds, again, the man himself in Diz. They do score first, which what Wolfie said is very true. It's going to be very, very important, because it kind of changes now a bit of the game plan here. Maybe if you're ForceFed, you can't really, fully sit back 3 in the box and just hope for counters, because Hidden Cypher, they're going to be locking it down as best as they can. So it relies on the passing plays here from ForceFed to have to sync up, where they haven't necessarily been looking the absolute sharpest, if I'm honest.
And that's kind of where, good teams know how to win games even when you're not at your best. And I think this is a great team that we're seeing. So they should be able to try to mix things up to get it right back. But this is exactly what I thought we were going to see here from Cypher. Just back passes, allow for the development of ForceFed up to allow for that back line, give it right back to your keeper. And from there, you're just playing time. You're trying to allow it to continue being a ticking time bomb here for the boys in red.
And they've just gotten goal number 2. It's a beautifully worked play all around the pitch in the opponent half, and they find the guy, Asagi, right up at the top of the box, who just beats second to the spot. Great shot, never even dove at it. Thought it was going to be maybe going off the backboard. No, sir. 2 goals for Hidden Cypher. Just 2 minutes here into game 7.
You see a reset here from the keeper. Second, having the ball and taking this one for the outlet pass. And, you know, this is where force fed. You might be down, but you're not out. It's still 341. You've come back down from a 2-goal deficit before. You just got to get right back onto your horse. Said, hey, we know who we are. We got that org buff. We got to allow ourselves to really push on forward. But, you know, Hidden Cypher, they played phenomenal. And, you know, Nova's been playing well. Diz has been really coming up. I love the way they've really been a full 5-man team in this one. They've all been able to row at the same time, same pressure, and right now trying to row themselves into a grand finals.
Yeah, you really could say a lot of the same things about ForceFed as well. I mean, to get to this point, game 7 is truly remarkable, but you could just see that it's just going back and forth once again. I mean, it's just a great answer here in game 7 right now from Hidden Cypher as we do hit the halfway mark, and it's been all them thus far. And they have the possession once again, and they'll be taking a lot of time, which is the right move, I think, if anybody is in their right mind to do so. Holy switch, open man, finds it for Zeptis. They'll be looking over the top. Is a triple team on Asagi. That occasion, which leaves Diz open after a loose ball is found on the ground looking for Asagi. Couldn't find it there, Sir Grizzles, but still kept up into the opposition final third, as it is Diz. Gets his legs taken out by Red, a strong slide tackle, but fortunately they need the ball bad. They have finally succeeded in doing that. It is Phoenix with a great touch, and he finds an open lane to send this one on through on the ground. Force-fed, folks, they're not out of it just yet.
Well, this team with optimal amount of time, 224, you're saying, hey, we're right back in this. And, you know, if you're Cypher, you kind of just lost your way there. It was one where Phoenix had a lot of room to work with, good touch, and you know, we're not able to predict what he's going to come in. But now with the 1-goal lead, it's no longer safe anymore. Your cushion has been deflated, and we'll see, can the equalizer come?
Have to see how much defense they want to play now. Again, I mean, they're always looking for those attacking opportunities, but we'll see what they've got. You can see Diz already just completely guarding Manny right now. They go straight in for Phoenix, trying to moonball it up top in for Grizzles. It was a bit wild, and now Grizzles forced to go for the resetting pass. Second had to come up quite far to be able to collect this one. And you can see force-fed, they're maybe a bit loose with the ball, but they're just trying to be as safe as possibly can. It is Manny off B-wall, fighting Phoenix, and it gets deflected by the back line of Hidden Cypher, and it's the tie game after all. Are you kidding me?
Were you not entertained, ladies and gentlemen? The theatrics, the cinema has come in, and an unfortunate goal. That's just one where you're saying, boys, nothing we could have done. We just go next. Now, with 2-2 scoreline.
Oh, man, that is an absolute dagger into the heart of Zeptis, especially, who's been playing so well all series, to now get credited technically with an own goal in this instance. And force-fed, they are back in it, folks. Tie game, game 7, with a chance to the finals on the line. It's Nova looking to create here for Diz, who sends it off the post. Oh, my goodness, it was a dream look here for Diz, and he just takes it a bit too wide as we now go into the final minute, and force-fed have themselves the ball.
Oh, I think they said you want OT. We're just going to make it a spectacular sequence to get to there. But, you know, both these two teams, can they handle that pressure cooker? Well, that one slightly wide. Could have sent this one to a lead here for force-fed.
Oh, my goodness, and it was an unreal play there, but Phoenix misses the open shot, takes it a bit wide of himself. Now they try to feed it in for Diz once again. Force-fed, cleared away. Everybody back on defense, trying to force the ball out with as much pressure as they possibly can. I just cannot believe it was an unreal play call there from force-fed. They got the dream look on that occasion, but Phoenix couldn't bag it home. Zeptis looking up top in for Asagi, gets knocked away there by the anchor in red. Trying to win it back. It is Holy that does come fourth to scoop this ball away, finding Nova in quite an attacking position. Red once again all up into the defensive stop, and it's being fought after, and we are likely going into the most desired moment here, unless they can turn it right there, but they cannot. Overtime in game 7 with Hidden Cypher opening it up with a possession.
Things are starting to get scary here. Hidden Cypher, this team just trying to continue finding big ways in the box for the keeper here in second. Good job rolling this out. And this is where any possession can do it. Both these two teams have have the capability to have one ball in the box, win prio, and see yourself moving on to the grand finals. And Phoenix, when this team was down, he came up in the biggest of ways.
And they did it, folks. Red, it's a little look, was that B1 action right there? Are you kidding me? Phoenix just coming out a simple textbook play, and they work it to perfection. The placement from Phoenix could not have been any better. And out of nowhere, another hat trick from Phoenix, and they've won it in Game 7 overtime. They've broken the curse there on the back and force-fed gaming. I don't want to say I was right, Wolfie. I know Taquito's listening to this as well, but they are indeed in the finals.
Yeah, this is a team who has so much premier names on their side, and Phoenix, ever since I said that he's been kind of slow, he wasn't playing to his best ability, all of a sudden, the last 2 games, he just erupted onto the pitch, and maybe it was one where they're kind of allowing everyone else to get comfortable into this match, and they knew what type of productivity they're going to get out of him, but wow, big applause to ForceFed for coming into this one, going the long ways to be able to take this 2 series in a row. They go to the last game and pull it off, but, you know, I think for Cypher, you're kind of saying, hey, your names are now put onto a pedestal of saying this is a great team. Can you continue to elevate that and see where you potentially go? But I think we're in a grand finals to potentially witness some history.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable moment right there. Force-fed gaming break the streak of games in that semifinals, win it at the death with back-to-back hat tricks from their new man up top in Phoenix, and they'll be going to qualifier one's finals. Now, for who they'll be going up against, of course, are waiting between SBK and Narcan, which if you guys want to tune into that stream, it is currently happening right now on the other channel. So definitely go check out that other channel. Maybe we can get it linked in the chat, or obviously it's already been posted plenty of times in the Discord for sure. So definitely go check that out below, as it is currently going on between SPK and Narcan, a bitter rivalry in months and months of rematch between those two sides that know each other so well. It's going to be a very, very interesting one to see who comes out on top. But for us right now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back, of course, with the big grand finals. But until then, we'll see you in just a moment.
love you, love you. I do need you. Ooh, I love you, I do need you. Ooh, I love you, love you. I do need you, need you. I do, I love you, I do need you. I love you, love you. I do need you. Ooh, I love you, I do need you.
play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Don't pause. Press play. 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 Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause, press. Switch. I wanna hear what you got to say. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause, press play. Press play, 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 press play. Don't pause, press play. I wanna hear what you got to say. Don't pause, press play. Look at the sky. The sun won't ask for what if it can rise. Look at your mind and ask yourself what keeps you trapped inside. Look at the lights that follow you when you run and hide. Look at the sky. The sun won't ask. 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 The world if it can rise.
Boots hit the ground and they scatter away. They fall all around like they've made a mistake. And what have we done to keep up the charade? Can never go home, we're all one and the same. We get off our horses of metal and shame. Step over the masses who whisper our name. Restrain all our voices and swallow the pain. Deadly and gorgeous, we're coming through. We're coming for you. I'm Pen. You might think I'm sweet. I got a secret so cold and hard to keep. Nobody knows where to find my family. They've gone missing. It's because of me. I'm like Ace. I have nowhere to sleep, so we roam on the road with the other three. Feeling old and alone.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We find ourselves right before the grand final. Wolfley Tua in the booth of Tibbles. Tibbles, what a day it's been throughout this bracket. I think when you look at every team who's participated today, they put their best foot forward.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a crazy day so far as well, because like even starting in the round of 16, we saw Team Moirai go down in 3-2 against Narcan. So Team Moirai, I mean, they just won an event a couple weeks ago. I believe they won the Invitational for the offseason as well. So to see them go down in the round of 16 is really crazy to see. Of course, they did play Dark Ed. You consistently believe to be the best team in North America, at least for last season, but still kind of a surprise for me. And another one as well is Force Fed Gaming sweeping Lockdown Wolfie. I was not expecting that in the round of 16.
No, Lockdown has been one of those teams that you've seen really start making a name for themselves in the rematch scene. And it's one where I was, like yourself, I was surprised. I thought that potentially would have been 4 games, maybe 5 games, but for Force Fed to play the way they did, to be able to make it to the grand finals, this team is on a hot streak. There's so many veterans on that squad that knows what it is to be in the bright lights, and, they didn't shy away from it.
Yeah, they didn't shy away from it at all. We've seen some sweeps today. We've seen some game 5s. SBK looking hot as well. They swept low XP there in the quarterfinals, but that semifinal that we just watched was absolutely insane. And of course, I want to talk about that quarterfinal for Narcan sweeping Kinnan A as well, because Kinnan A has been, the North American side of that team has been pretty consistent. I haven't seen them win maybe in the off season, but they have done very well. And so I expected maybe a little bit more out of that series.
I think it was just one where Narcan, they played a great squad in round number 1. And for them, it doesn't get as harder as that. So, the next game you kind of come in, you kind of go to a different type of pacing. But, Ken was one of those teams who also played Ballistic extremely well. And, under Hidden Cypher, going to 5 games, showing that they're battle tested, but got put into a buzzsaw. I think Narcan, the way they've been able to play, especially against SPK, who looked great against low XP. Low XP, I was talking to Keto, and we both agreed that was a dark horse for ourselves coming into this tournament. They have been doing such a great job, especially for the first time that team's really been constructed together. And, Narcan, they made it look easy. They found ways to get things done, but SPK, I think for themselves, just going back to the drawing board, they had some good series, but it kind of just got away from them as that series went along.
Absolutely, but now we'll head on to the semifinals to cover those. ForceFed Gaming 4-3 over Hidden Cypher. That one went to game 7. Of course, the one that everyone just probably saw on the alternate stream also went to game 7. SBK fought back against Narcan to win in that final game to take that grand final ticket that they so desperately wanted. I mean, they just laid everything out on the pitch. We saw some great performances from Skodos and Leroy as well, of course, as well as the rest of the SBK team, and what a win for them. But that will lead into our grand final here. It'll be Pell and Taquito to cast for you guys here. Grand final, ForceFed Gaming versus SBK.
Yes. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. It's Pell and Taquito. What a great little segment we had right there. Wolfie and Tibbles, I want to shout them two out in particular. They had a lot of fun, of course, here on the broadcast tonight. Tibbles, shout out to you. Obviously, you've been doing a lot of hard work. I don't even know if the people even know, but Tibbles has been doing a lot of great stuff. And Wolfie as well for chiming on in and having a lot of fun with me and Taquito up in the broadcast booth. But here we are, Taquito, big finals incoming. Not too sure how many people really would have expected this exact outcome. A lot of different possibilities. Obviously, we had our little fun, bracket predictions behind the scenes. I can at least say I did maybe better than you. I don't know if you want to hear that though, but
no, you definitely did.
ForceFed versus SBK though is the final, and best of 7 underway. Both of them coming off of game 7 victories. I don't even know where to start, Taquito.
I do want to say I've just been absolutely impressed because, again, my grand finals did not look like this at all. And that was purely based off of the performances that we saw from Friday. Between Pell and I, of course, we kind of talked very openly about the scene and how things are moving. And so both of us understand that recency bias does play a bit into how we want to look at things. But at the same time, I said it from the very beginning when I sent him my bracket prediction. I circled that match and I said, I want to be proven wrong about this one. This is exactly where I want to be proven wrong at. And it was the round 2 where ForceFed took it. And I could not believe that I've been proven wrong completely. Narcan doing exactly like what I thought they would, but getting to the semis and then losing to SPK was not what I thought was going to happen. So big shout out to SPK. And maybe we need to go back and adjust the tier list a little bit. And maybe because of this, Leroy absolutely slides up into that S tier.
No, we don't need to talk about any tier list action. I think they're just deserving. Obviously, we all know what these guys are so great at what they do. And what a moment really for SBK again to come down 3-1. A little brawn in them, it feels like, here at Taquito to make it into this finals. But what a path it was, again, highlighted here by Wolfie and Tibbles. But lot on the line here, looks like, as the teams are finally going to get geared up, loading on into the lobby. Again, when we talk about maybe what we actually expect coming into this series, Taquito, personally, I'm thinking a little bit maybe more defensive than some people would maybe, I don't know, desire or maybe even think about. We've seen ForceFed again. They've been playing a lot of their, three in the box style of play before really moving up. And then SPK from the get-go, they have been very heavy with three in their own box. So if they're going to be trading that, it means going to be a lot of set plays incoming. So it's going to need a lot of execution on the side of the offenses if they're going to want to crack through what both teams are able to offer.
Hey, listen, with the way we've seen Skodos locking down the back line, I don't know. I don't know if we got to worry about defense on the other side, but the way we've seen Leroy striking on SPK, especially in that last game over on the other stream, Skodos is going to have to step up big time for ForceFed. This is going to be a very heavy match favored, like you said, on the defensive side. It's going to be very counterattack heavy as well. Something that I think ForceFed is really good at implementing. And we've seen the way they trade the ball from the backside of the pitch to the opposite side in transition, something that I think ForceFed has put on very well. While with SPK, when they hold a lead and they hold their momentum and even the possession of the pace of play, it becomes a very hard task for the other team to keep up with it. Snowball effect could absolutely be a big time factor here in this grand final.
Yeah, it absolutely can. Again, both teams have shown that they have what it takes to come back down in the series and end up winning it. I want to highlight a couple of the players that we're going to be seeing here together. If you haven't really tuned in, for some people that are maybe just tuning in right now here for the finals. On the side of ForceFed Gaming, I mean, what a roster this truly is. Again, kind of in the past week or so, they've started to really gain some traction, and it wasn't even really an official signing with a couple of their players until maybe just a couple days ago, that in particular Phoenix, who is their main striker up front. And what a signing he has been, Taquito. Me and you, we've known Phoenix as such an unbelievable player in any team's attack for so many seasons now here at RME, but to join into a squad with Red and Grizzles, who have always been so good, but have never really gotten over the line, over the hump when it talks about this kind of core of a roster taking it all the way. It is truly special. And of course, there's CDM as well, and Big Booty Blazing, aka Manny, and then the GK, the big one right here, the big GK match that we're going to be seeing between Second Gairu, who is a lot of people's favorite keeper right now, very up and coming, but I say up and coming, but he's been known for quite some time. It's just maybe at this exact level is maybe going to be a first time for him, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch what he's able to do here in the grand finals. And then you look at the other side, Taquito, it's actually a couple of former ForceFed Gaming members going up against their former team, notably Skodos from back in the day, obviously with 100X, who's shared the pitch many times, of course, with Red, Grizzles, and Manny. It's going to be very interesting to see what Skodos maybe looks at as a GK against a team that he knows very well. And their former super sub, Alexander XV, who has been a story of the tournament, who came on in, obviously, with Seth not in the lineup tonight for SPK, in at the back. So no anchor. XV, a guy who plays all over, just kind of wherever he needs to do. And he has been absolutely perfect today. And it's going to be very interesting to see what a couple of former ForceFeds now do so against each other.
Rob is ripping his hair out in this lobby right now. He can't choose who he wants to win, man. Every single player has at some point in time been sponsored by Rob. That's absolutely hilarious. But yes, no, these guys, these 6 players are just incredibly familiar. Or 6, I said silly me. 10 players are very familiar with one another, and to end up in this position, to be in grands like this, especially such a dominating fashion on both sides, 2 game 7s that definitely traded blows, heavy hits on each side in both of those series. To end up here in this moment, the adversity has been conquered. The guys have stamina on the pitch. They are literally just willing to lay down everything they possibly can when it comes down to this series. This is our opener. This is the introduction to season 5 of RME. We couldn't have asked for a better match.
And I was going to say, what a tournament this has truly been. It's been so much chaos, so much incredible things going on, and it leads us to this moment where, again, who would have guessed ForceFed against SPK is going to be your finalists in qualifier number 1 of the RME Nations Circuit. It will be on ForceFed to kick us off, as they'll be rocking these light blue uniforms. And here you go, right out of the gates, it will be that set play. They go in for Phoenix, who goes to his right, Skodos is left, and that's apparently, in what we can confirm, is what Skodos has been doing all day long. Just incredible saves on his line even still. And now Second Gairu with some involvement as well. Some very quick GK action here, Taquito.
This is just it's the test of, does your keeper have the ability to keep up with the level of play that's happening on the pitch. Grizzles puts one central. Phoenix knocks it home. Force fed, strike first, game 1.
Yeah, beautiful work as well, and I was surprised to see a goal scored this early on when you consider the set plays and no defense or no defender is able to get that block, and a very unfortunate turtle dive there on the side of Skotos, who has been just incredible again all night long. Maybe one of the probably the only blemishes he's maybe even had in this tournament tonight, but he'll certainly get back into his winning ways here in due time. Ball in from XV, looking to find, it looks like Mendoza there up against B wall, not able to do so with Grizzles playing some very stagnant defense. They do set it on back, and they will end up with a full-on reset now here for Skotos. And again, just still trading everything, starting with the keeper offensively. Beautiful rainbow, intentional off the near miss. Second doesn't jump at all here, Taquito. It's incredible composure.
I'm telling you, man, like the nerves as well. Like, obviously we're not seeing that on the pitch. We're seeing the patience of play, the calculated movements, knowing when to actually take the, like, you know, quote unquote, take the bait, if you will, from these defenders. And that's exactly what you need to have at this level. Oh, that was a good possession steal. Manny trying to get the ball away, but Yoichu is still doing well to actually keep the ball out, though Manny picks it up. Big cross on the other box. Is that their actual name? Is that how you pronounce that? Please help me with that.
What,
Who is that?
Yaoichu? Yeah, Mendoza,
Yeah.
Mendoza.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I freaking thought. I hate him so much sometimes. I love him as a player, but I hate him so much with how much he changes his freaking name.
Yeah, very fair enough. I mean, even Asagi's going under with the egoist name as well. How about Red initiating this one? Manny going well deep all the way into the other deep side of the box. Does find its way now for Phoenix, looking to create in for Grizzles, who has scored a number of goals as well today. Him and Phoenix, again, it's kind of his cam and then striker, with Grizzles as the cam and then Phoenix striker. But again, with what Phoenix has always done for months and months and months at the cam position, their level of synergy, what is really possible, is really opened up a lot more in comparison to maybe some other teams where some strikers additionally don't have the passing capabilities that Phoenix truly does have. Mendoza able to bend this one around the entire back line, but not able to find someone initially. Now Juice in for Leroy off the backboard, heading in, it goes off the crossbar twice. Are you kidding me? A third attempt from Mendoza goes off the post once again. What in the world just happened?
And of course, you see Mendoza just stop moving. Like, in that moment, bro hit the bar 3 times. He hit the bar 3 different times. Honestly, I would have given up in that moment too. I'd have just put the controller down for a second. Like, you know what? You got me, Rematch. Fine. I guess I won't shoot the ball anymore. Just somebody looking out for force fed right now, as none of those went in. They're trading the ball. Cross the pitch for possession. Second will pick it up to quarterback a play. Has Manny wide open right side there. Grizz is waiting on a shot. Goes central. That's a good body block for Alex. That is the player, again, you talked about stepping up huge here in this specific day of the tournament, and it's truly become a super sub.
Truly has. He was going up there for the blocking, as it looked like Mendoza kind of trying to win prio. Works out. Phoenix near post. Beautiful save. Diving. Surprised he doesn't get an injury right there. That's the beauty of Rematch. There are no injuries, of course. It's a great save there by Skoto. Still just the 1-goal game. Again, on par with the more defensive series that we may be expecting here in this grand finals. B-Wall, Juicy Mall down in front. Runner on the B6, but the force-fed defense able to hold their ground just enough, and it comes away with second Gairu now in control. Going over the middle, just a bit high, maybe a bit rushed there, looking for Grizzles as they never found it. Now it's Leroy and Juice, a little back and forth here. The rainbow up on top just goes straight up into the skull of Manny, and now they're fighting over possession.
You know what? I just happened to look over in the Twitch chat. You telling me Aziz is up at like 4 5 a.m. watching this stream? No way, dude. Shout out Aziz and all the EU guys as well for tapping into the RME stream. We love to see it. See the Rematch HQ Twitch in the chat as well. Love to see that. But man, you guys tapped in on the perfect series, dude. You really did tap in on the perfect series. I mean, it just kind of encapsulates where NA is at currently. Like, we had like basically the number 1 and the number 2 team get knocked out in back-to-back matches to get to our grand. So this has been a big toss-up for us.
Huge toss up right now. Leroy again trying to use that near miss wall. No budge there from second. It's great work. Now Red is able to play it back on here for Grizzles. The first touch back heel finds a wide open Manny. Phoenix is one-on-one. Will go left side, able to turn it around. The keeper will fake it into the right side. And how about Alexander XV with a goal line save? It's an incredible piece of defending that keeps the SPK crew still in it. Only down one with 30 seconds to work with.
Now, right here, SPK kind of do a lot of their work in these high pressure moments. We've seen it happen multiple times, and especially gets force fed. Oh, Juice Jamal had the step, couldn't get the possession. That could have been very dangerous for second, but as he's able to pick it up, he just needs to hold possession for a little bit longer. Deflection there. Midfield could be good here for SPK, but they've got to seal the ball. Hey, there's a slide tackle. Do we see it? Keeper does pick it up. SPK have one major chance.
Huge opportunity. Been proving it all night long. Let's see what they've got. Mendoza in for Juice, immediately shut down by the captain. Red with an incredible stop here that'll have his squad, Force Fed Gaming, take a very narrow game one victory, 1-0. Taquito, it's almost like we knew it was coming.
And this is just the beginning, my friend. We have potentially 6 long games ahead of us right now. Imagine we end out the stream with the 777, the triple game 7 match.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, that would be a dream come true, I think, for a lot of people if you were able to see all the series that could go to Game 7 actually go to Game 7, because real ones know that back in the day, a lot of Game 7s, Taquito, they just got evaded. You know, like so many times we would say, oh, are we going to get Game 7? And then it would just never happen. So it's really, really crazy that tonight of all nights in the brand new season, the biggest season of Rematch Esports yet, is currently going the distance as it is right now.
Z says triple game 7, I'll be kicked from my job. Oh man, this is what bothers me, or not what bothers me, what like baffles me is the word I should use, is that was a 1-goal game. And at multiple times, it felt like it should have been better. Obviously, we saw the replay. Beautifully done by Ellington. The first clip we see on our replay recap is the triple bar out from Mendoza. You know, that just kind of really puts it on the top, but it hits the nail on the head for SPK in game 1. It's time for them to adapt here in game number 2.
Yeah, and I like their initial play here, as it looks like SPK are now going to be rocking the red uniforms, so might need to swap around our scoreboard there. But in any case, it is pretty good stuff going on right now on the side of Force Fed defensively, as they've yet to give up a goal, and especially even with some of the looks that SPK is going to be throwing their way. It is on Manny, left side, trying to just send that one through the air, but well defended now by Juice Jamal. Still just duking it out. Ball on the ground, extra effort, not even going to save Manny this time. How about a teammate, though, joining on through? It's Sir Grizzles back in for Manny, trying to keep this one on the ground. Now Leroy is all the way back in his own half, playing some defense as well. This is an insane start.
Yeah, no, this is that was a really good vibe for possession right there for SPK. Goes back to Force Fed. Second is pushed up really far here. Has Red available with tons of turf to cover. Opposite side goes corner, finds Grizz. Mendoza does get a good touch and a slide tackle. Very important. Notice how this time Pelmap, I think you've already caught on to it, they're not letting each other keep possession for a very long time. They're definitely cutting in on opportune moments when they see a play just begin to start. They don't even let it actually come to fruition.
That's absolutely right, Taquito, and there it is, right on cue. They go pretty quick, and they get Leroy set up for what is his and his team's first goal here of the finals. Alexander Mendoza outside into Leroy. B1 action. Again, textbook. That's the winner kind of goal that we saw from Force Fed in their semifinal against Hidden Cypher, and now it's worked against them. The 1-goal lead now to the side here of SPK.
Hey. And they have to adapt, and that's the biggest thing that players do at this level. They adapt constantly. Once one game goes by, we'll see something begin to. We kind of find or see the players find their creative bone to look for more opportunities. His pass is off the post and in. Phoenix, the Viltrumite himself, taking goal number 1 for Force Fed.
Yeah, just a disgusting answer right here. If you are force-fed gaming, Sir Grizzle's beautiful pass, able to beat his man up top is Phoenix, and the placement could not have been any better. You heard it clink itself off the pole and it rattles its way on through underneath the dive of the keeper. And now a bad giveaway there by Alexander, and without really trying to go on a counter, they're going to go for a full reset. So a extra possession earned, if you will, on the side of force-fed gaming, which is certainly something that they love to see. Second, deep down into the right side. It will be picked up now by Manny, who's given a lot of space to work with. They will pick out Phoenix coming closer to him. Juicy Maul, though, a great dive towards it. And now they're waiting to try to bait each other into the ball on the ground. Eventually, Manny does win it back. Phoenix, the middleman with the header. And now Mendoza and Grizzles. I mean, just ball continuously finding itself here in the final box. And it leads to a final product. Phoenix, a second goal in the span of 30 seconds. And ForceFed now have the lead.
I mean, they named a show after the guy. Right now, Phoenix feels invincible. Am I right?
I mean, he's a demon. What can I say, Taquito?
This step up has been huge. This pickup for ForceFed. I feel like Phoenix leading the charge has, like, it really upped the game for Grizzles. Grizzles was already really good, but now he has a striker with the capability of Phoenix. Like, not to say that anybody in the previous force-fed roster wasn't that good, but just it brings a whole new level of offense to this squad.
They're saying, by the way, in the chat that Taquito should be fired. I don't know. I must have missed it. Taquito, apparently you're cooked now. I don't know what to say. But
hey,
anyways,
listen, they don't like references, bro. That's it. They don't like references. They don't like a bit. These guys, they're haters, dog. First, my music is good. Now my commentating's crap. I don't know. I'm loved and hated by the Rematch community all at the same time, it seems.
That's all right. As long as you leave your mark, Taquito, that's all that matters. Sir Grizzle's right side trying to find Phoenix once again, but a bit too rushed, at least on the pass is what it looks like. And so Skotos will be able to collect this one. Skotos, again, who's maybe, I mean, again, like with what he's done so far tonight, we expect him to have such a number of saves. But so far, it has been second Gairu, who has been truly, truly impressive in on his line. He's been very, very composed. He must have studied the game plan against SPK. He's reading a lot of their plays as it's happening. He already has the game plan set. Although, as I'm giving him his praise, he does get caught out, gives it away. It is Leroy trying to go on the break, but how about the coverage there by Red, which is a huge improvement, Taquito, because if you remember, I don't want to get a full callback, but you know what happens sometimes with ForceFed when they have nobody back in at net.
Man, we've seen it one too many times. You're absolutely right. The bravery from the defense gets a little too much. This is a good pass up. Manny has it left side. Central tries to find Phoenix. Oh, and Skotos gets there just in time.
Just in time, Juicy Maul up in for Leroy, and it's second once again. Very, very proactive, roaming at the top of his box, who makes a very nice save up top. Little the forward dive action, finds the open man, which is not a guy you want to have a lot of space to give, because he will deliver a beauty of a ball. And he was looking for Phoenix that time around inside the 6, and he was not able to find it with some defenders all up in his face. Juicy Maul over for Leroy. Not too sure what happened there. Never was even trying to go for it. Now negative angle. Almost thought he had it, but
save.
Second with a quick snap back makes an unbelievable save.
That was incredible. I don't know. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't even know how Second got that top tier save. 2-1 the score line. Looking for one more here is ForceFed. Might find a pass central. Manny does get deflected. Phoenix is there. Takes possession off the wall. Is Grizz in the middle? He is, but gets defended well. Has to go backwards. Manny might find a play. Extra effort, does lose possession for just a moment. Central pass is found. Grizzles is blocked away. And oh my, somehow SPK still have not sealed possession of this ball.
It is truly remarkable what we are watching right now with the force-fed gaming defense. And now with only 15 seconds, they can try to stall this one out. Second beautifully waiting for the timer to get maximum use out of it. Only 4 seconds. He has to get rid of the ball. Plays it over the middle. It's Grizzles up for Manny. It's a bit too hard, though. It's a foot race for it. Slide tackle. Manny will get it after all. And it seals the deal on a Game 2 victory for force-fed gaming. And they now go up 2-0 here in the finals.
I just want to know, why did Skotos jump? I know he was looking for the forward dive, but Skotos jumped at that ball. Also, black screen on the stream. What happened?
No, there we go. Just trying to get it fixed out. Trying to show a replay here.
Yeah.
What it seems to be. And you could see, obviously, some of the clips and the moments from that previous game. It's just unbelievable, Taquito. I mean, just force-fed gaming defensively. They've only given up 1 goal right now to this SBK team through all their methodical plays. Only 1 goal allowed? I mean, are you kidding me?
Right, exactly. I mean, still the score line right now for the series so far is 3-1 total goals between force-fed and SBK. But you split that between 2 games, and it's still 2 1-goal games, brother. 2 1-goal games. And right now, force-fed is up 2-0 in the series.
They absolutely are. And once again, it's now force-fed, a little swap of the kit here as they do go on into the light green uniforms. I don't really know how people feel about this one. SBK, though, still rocking the reds is where we go. And force-fed again, the opening possession. We'll see second. Take it off B-Wall. Grizzles, good feed over the top box as it was both Manny and Phoenix there ready to deliver something. And although it was a failure, it's okay because they've won the ball back to do it all again.
I also feel like for whatever reason, these green jerseys maybe don't carry the luck that people think. We saw Narcan rock these jerseys a couple times, and unfortunately, they are not here in the Grands. So is this color cursed? Do we write this storyline here and now on the Grand Finals broadcast? Opinions, Pelmat.
Man, I don't know if we can curse a team right now that's up 2-0, although I take full blame on Taquito, folks. Do not come after me. Just move it to Taquito because, as he's mentioned, it's Juice Yamal for SBK that gives them the lead in the opening minute.
Why are you shifting focus to me? I didn't do anything.
Yes,
what
you did.
are we
You
talking about here?
You know what you did, Taquito.
I did nothing. I asked a question. I tried to create commentary. I wanted a conversation with a friend that's commentating grand finals with me. Here you are placing blame on my shoulders as Grizzles was trying to set up a play. Good header on defense was Alex, who's also still just really stepped up on the backside for SBK. Again, this player rocking down defense with Skodos. It really is tough to actually crack through, but man, oh, no way. That's a goal.
Oh, yes, wait. That's it. You know what? It's an open net, I know. People might say this is not that great. This is honestly a genius strike from Leroy. I'm giving him full props here to be able to first touch that one, put the downspin on it, ensuring it, able to get there before the defender goes flying at him. That's a beautiful shot. Makes it 2-0, only a quarter of the way through. And I definitely do think there's maybe a bit of curse going on right now with the boys of green.
Okay, that was a full pull up from the keeper. Come on now, that was a force-fed classic, dog.
Nah, I think Taquito's doing something, folks. And so is Manny, who finds himself in a nice spot, a little unorthodox, kind of on that righter corner inside, and he gets his first goal here of the finals.
Norman, you're not going to hit the jackpot next time you go to the casino. There you go. There's your curse. Maybe it's a blessing. You're welcome. Anyways. 2-1, we have another 1-goal game happening here in the grand finals. Finally, we see something go in for force-fed after 2 unanswered to start this off for SBK. They will be able to bring this back. I've seen it happen plenty of times for force-fed, but we are starting to see the momentum swing for SBK. They're finally starting to kind of like slot into the pace of play that they want. Their defense as well is still locking in. Grizzles does take a play here. He's able to push it away. Can he get it off the wall? Couple of headers. He's unable to steal. Wait, he steals it back somehow? Man, that is what I'm talking about. Just absolutely living in the heat of that play, trying his best to stop the team from going the opposite direction.
It's the rematch version of dying for the badge right there, folks. Trying to win back this ball at any cost. Beautiful save once again. Again, roaming outside near the top of his box is second. And he is trying to keep the force-fed hope alive. Sidewall does find it's a Grizzles. Takes a touch, frees himself up. Now looks for Phoenix inside, who tries to go far post.
Save.
And Skodos with an acrobatic save is able to keep SPK in front. But I want to say this, is not only just because SPK is down 2-0, but the reason this game is so important just for both sides is because this is finally the game where it is broken open. You know, there's not so much of the defensive identity. There's been a lot of kind of, you know, ticky-tacky goals just happening all over the place. Number of goals early on in this one. So you don't want to let this one slip when the defenses are starting to finally slip themselves. So big moment right here for both sides, but especially on the edge of SBK.
Man, Grizzles just locked down Mendoza as well. Mendoza was putting on a display of footwork, wasn't able to get past. Good pass up, finds Red. Red has Phoenix. Movement, header. We see the ball. The fake of it. It's off the ball. Oh, no. An open net opportunity missed wide. That's got to hurt.
It's the second time, I believe, here in the last couple of rounds you've seen Phoenix miss what has been like literally the greatest of opportunities, and it goes on to the other end. Leroy with a goal of his own outside the box, bicycle kick. Placement is incredible. Oh my goodness, a quick turn of events. What would have been a 2-2 game is now 3-1 in favor of SPK.
I'm really sad that you didn't Leroy Jenkins that call. That was a perfect time. Missed opportunity.
I'm leaving it for you. I'm leaving it for you.
No. You have to follow through with it, Pell. We talked about this.
No. You got to save it for game 7, Taquito.
Okay, fine. All right. The guys there, you heard it. You heard the script being released. Pell has said that it will be game 7. Leroy on a breakaway here as the opportunity dances around one, looking for another pass kick. Save is good by Red with the gloves.
Red with the gloves. It's been a bit of a theme tonight. We've seen a couple of anchors having to step up in that GK's position, and I'm not surprised that it's happening again with these two sides playing a lot of set play, having to bring their GK up to initiate said set play. So good work from Red. I mean, it's not very often that we'll see a Red save, or really anybody that isn't a keeper getting a save such as that with the gloves, but it's great work, and you always take it when you can. SPK looking for a true dagger still here in this game, up by 2, trying to cement their lead even further. They do give it away for a split second. XV able to win it back, leaves it open now for the man of the hour. Juice up top, in for Leroy, and second with a nice punch out there is going to go outside the box to try to grab it on the ground. Now Red will do the same. It's crazy work going on here.
I see that Red is also floated back to fill in as a keeper when needed. Phoenix has Manny wide. Manny with possession. Pass back. No one's there. Phoenix dove off the play a little too early. Tries another one off the wall. Middle, and Manny is just going to get it for free off a bounce.
Beautiful work here. I cannot believe it either. How about, who would have guessed? Well, what are the Vegas odds on this? A big booty blazing Manny brace here in the finals of game number 4. Game number 3, this is, my apologies. Just incredible work from Manny, trying to do everything he can to give his team a chance here with 45 seconds to work with. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though, Taquito.
Man hit him with the whole government name, Big Booty Blasian Manny. Like, just, I mean, he hit first, middle, last, and surname all at the same time. Like, good Lord. Leroy with possession. Stab right there was good. Red trying to push this one away, but it's picked up by Mendoza. Mendoza still has an option. Will need to go wide. Good interruption by Manny, but not good enough. Alex is there. Yamal. Juice Yamal. Finding one from the right side, but has nobody to attack. Mendoza picking this one up, will play back to waste time, and does so well enough. That could have been stolen. Manny doesn't get possession. Kick wide. Leroy's there. It's a free shot on the net. What could have been another 1-goal game becomes 2 for consolation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a good game, a keep away once again that results in a final goal just for the vibes, it seems here. Leroy, with the music playing in the background, gets himself another. And how about a 4-2 victory? As did anybody else see us just go off the map there for a moment? We were literally floating into the earth core. I don't know what that was about. But in any case, huge bounce back answer here for SPK after scoring only 1 goal through 12 minutes of play. They scored 4 in just this game alone.
And I do believe that actually ties up completely the goals scored throughout the series. It is a 5-5 point game through now what will be the 4th game once we get back into the lobby. So down bad, you could say, was SPK. Now, some might even say, if you're a big fan of them, we're so back.
We're so back, he says. I know there's a lot of people watching that are probably absolutely loving these two teams facing off. It's just such a great matchup. You know, when you think about the history with some of the players on the other sides that have played with one another before, and as well as, you know, I think these are kind of two teams that maybe historically they haven't really had a ton of, you know, the top success, if you will. And what I mean by that is, you know, ForceFed Gaming, you know, obviously, did they win the tournament yesterday in the Piston Cup? Yes, they absolutely did. But when was the last time you remember them winning an actual Army qualifier, Taquito? I don't know if I could actually even name a time that ForceFed actually won a qualifier or any Army season big tournament. And on the side of SPK, obviously, the last time they did one was, I believe, the first qualifier of the previous season. Maybe they're looking to repeat history here today.
Hey, if you can keep the trend of at least winning the first qualifier, that is the definition of consistency. You win the first qualifier every time. I mean, that could be something to write home about, but right now, ForceFed still has your number. They are up 2-1 in the series, so you do need to at least win another game. Right now, we're trying to get this next lobby set up for you guys as quickly as possible. Pell is working that on the background. Obviously, big shout out, guys, this whole time. You know, a couple of y'all have asked in the chat. Massive shout out to Ellington, who has just been on the 1s and 2s all night long. He is the reason we have a beautiful replay package. He's the one been kicking the tunes all night as well. And a big shout out again to the opposite side of the stream, on the sister stream of Rematch Esports Plus. Bleh was the producer over there. Shout out to Hitman and Tibbles, who were the commentators there. Another one, big shout out to Wolfie. It was a full Texas broadcast here on the main stream. That was pretty cool to be a part of.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that we almost met. Although I will say, Texas is a pretty big state. And I think we're all from 3 different parts, unfortunately.
Yes.
So we can't, it's not like a 30-minute drive easy enough. Although, I mean, for me, 1 hour drive is pretty standard. I feel like, I think you could probably agree with that, right, Taquito?
Yeah, no, the funniest thing is I'm at the top, you're in the middle, and Wolfie's all the way at the bottom.
that is relatively true. Yeah.
No, that's it. You're talking about being in 3 different parts. We are very spread out here in the big Lone Star State. I mean, regardless, it has been a wonderful night so far. Rocking it out with everybody here. We've had a massive amount of viewers. You guys have stuck it out with us this entire time. I think we've collected probably somewhere around 15 to 20 subs as well here at Play at RME. What a way to open up season 5.
What a way to open up season 5, indeed. And folks, we're just doing a quick little, not a break necessarily. We just had to remake a lobby as one of the players just didn't get in. So we are going to be good to go here in just a second. But now focusing back here on the finals. It was a strong defensive performance in the first 2 games from ForceFed Gaming that had them securing just 1-goal victories in back-to-back games. And now SPK, they've rattled off 4 goals, really 3 if you want, in that previous game. But in any case, it's shown that they have a lot of life here on the offensive end. Juice, as well as Leroy, obviously heating up in a big way here. Taquito, what can we expect from these sides now in a game 4 where everything seems to kind of have changed in this series?
The biggest thing is right now SPK is beginning to heat up. So if I'm force-fed, I'm trying to look at the player I want to lock down completely. I'd say that that's Leroy, but Leroy is getting some excellent passes and set plays from not only Mendoza, but also Juice Yamal. Juice Yamal as well, I do believe scored a goal in that last game. So there's that too. Great deflection by Skodos on a wonderfully placed shot by Phoenix to open us up on the shooting opportunity for ForceFed. And again, we're backwards on the scoreboard. ForceFed is in the blue while SPK is in the brown, but it doesn't matter because Leroy is going to open up the scoring.
Great work here. And I was going to actually say, I'm not going to be surprised if we see ForceFed go back into their 3 in the box, and they did. And even with 4 guys there, none of them are able to either get a deflection nor a save on that shot by Leroy. Incredible work from the SBK team, as they are clearly finding some sort of avenue. The quality is pretty high when you talk about their attacking front right now over the past few minutes, and it's what you love to see, trying to make the series, again, a little bit more competitive than the initial 2-0 series scoreline would have indicated. So great work right now for SPK. Alexander trying to win this ball back here for that team in particular, which is now yoinked away. It is Grizzles pushing it. Right sideline will turn up the camera, looking for Phoenix. Just a bit too low, though, as Juicy Mall and the rest of the crew are able to get a deflection and now look to go the other way.
So what's going on in your mind, like as somebody who has tried to play the game competitively with a lot of these guys? What do you think? No. You laugh, but listen to me. Like, what do you think is actually going on in the minds of ForceFed right now? I mean, again, I said at the top of the broadcast, the snowball effect on the side of SPK will be ever present. Once they start heating up, once they find their rhythm, once they find their lane, it's going to be very hard to stop this immovable object.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think with ForceFed, they're not a team, I feel like, that often just kind of, has a true foothold on a lot of series. They are kind of a comeback team in their own right with what we've seen of them and what we know about what they've been able to do in the times that they have had success. So for them right now, it's just about not trying to make any blatant mistakes that we have seen out of them from time to time that really could be a huge swing factor in some of the games in this series. That's why we see them go back into a true defensive identity, trying to calm themselves down, just try not to do many mistakes. But now that they have allowed that early goal here here, Taquito. It's trying to them figure out how they're going to be able to score with SBK doing a 3 in their own box in their own right, which has worked very well against a number of teams so far here in this tournament. So very, very interesting stuff to be going on here between these two sides. And right now on the offensive end for ForceFed, they're just trying to figure out some way to get some chemistry, some continuity up in here, and they've gotten it right there out of nothing. Grizzles into Phoenix. The Classic has tied the game at 1.
That was great movement as you saw the ball bounce around the box, spread the defenders exactly as they needed to be. Can we stop skipping the replays? Can we stop? Just somebody.
I wish I had any power over that. Unfortunately, the players, it looks like today, have just had enough of the replays. I don't know what's wrong with them.
This is so annoying, man. This is so annoying. We need the replays. Pain, dude. Pain.
Yeah.
Stop it.
We might.
It's got to be a rule. You know what?
Put the -7 in the chat.
Yeah. Where's PD at? PD, like one whole game is what you lose when you skip like 2 replays in a row. That's all I'm saying. New RME rule.
I tell you what, though, I think it actually is some kind of a rule, though, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the people can correct me. I think it's some kind of rule, and the players right now, I mean, there must be a revolt, clearly. I don't know what is going on, but a lot of replays being skipped, but in any case, it doesn't change the fact that a goal was indeed scored. Phoenix now up into the attacking front, and once again, we'll have to back this one on out. It will be Manny B-Wall, and it will be Alexander, though, with a strong clearance. Phoenix, I think he saw that one and knew he was on it, just kind of gave that one up. Now, Red, he will rifle one up top. It's a beautiful pass in for Red, and it's Sir Grizzles who takes it right down the middle, and it has given ForceFed the lead here. What a perfect pass by Red in a crowd of defenders, and Grizzles, I mean, talk about the gall to just take it right down the pipe there, Taquito. That's an unreal play.
All right, so what I'm hearing as well is next time Sir Grizzles scores, you're going to do the O Canada national anthem, right?
If only I knew it, maybe other than just the first line, I would.
Okay, well, we're gonna sing that over and over again. What's also gonna happen is I heard Ellington was gonna pipe the music into the chat so you can sing along with it. So 2-1 the scoreline here. ForceFed leading the charge. Less than 2 minutes and counting. Second nice clear up to Manny. Left wing has Grizzles far. Phoenix is way too close in the box. I like the bravery. Grizzles shoots. It's a deflected block from Skodos. Much needed here for SBK.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous save here from Skodos. Been needing that from him for a little bit of time. We haven't said his name necessarily in a moment. Phoenix, another opportunity. This one now shut down here by XV. Manny, another one in for Phoenix. This time he gets it off cleanly, but it's Skodos once again. Great work by the 2 former men of ForceFed Gaming. Again, coming up with 3 stops in a row in that occasion. They finally win it back and can play it to their main 2 up in the attacking end. It will be XV. Now Mendoza on the switch. Juice Yamal and Leroy both waiting for something in the box. It will go to Juice on the rainbow on that edge, but it does get knocked away. Both teams defensively don't wanting to give them anything to work with.
No, and I got to shout out Manny right there. The defensive block there in the box and the stab on the steal to move the ball at least to mid was about as much as he could work with. Nice slide tackle from Red. Finds Manny once again. Kick all the way up to Phoenix. 1v1 versus Skodos, but there's a defender there. Dancing around. Put the shoes on. Had him on skates. Count it 3.
Ridiculous footwork here by the number 9. It's Phoenix, and you can just see honestly why he wanted to go back to playing striker. Taquito, I mean, this is too good to be a guy that primarily does the pass work. Incredible from Phoenix, shows you the versatility, and now that's 3 unanswered. They're going to try to go OG Hamid goal. Will it work? No, it will not, and so the Canadian Grizzles will record his save here in game 4.
Is that the goalie check? Is that what the OG Hamid is? Is the goalie check?
Yes, it is. Gotta give the man his credit right off the rip of a kickoff. Just boom one down. See if they're able to make a save.
That is so awesome. I love that. The AFK check is the OG Hamid. I didn't know that was the same thing. We love it. 3-1, seconds counting down. ForceFed should have this game 4 all locked up, which will put them 3-1 in the series. ForceFed trying to end their night as early as possible.
Phoenix, one more. Will he able to get it? No, he will not. Alexander, the deflection, but it's not going to matter. And what a response here, Taquito, as Phoenix, I mean, why not? I guess he's too good. He'll rise up, just try to go for prio, and he does win the battle. So it does go down as a 4-1 victory here for ForceFed. But my, oh my, ladies and gentlemen, does this now make this game, this series, really, really interesting? Because ForceFed Gaming are one win away from a title here in RME Season 5.
Hey, that's if you. I know Rob is having the time of his life right now watching this series, because either way, bro gets a win no matter what. We have the replay package up for you guys. Again, shout out Ellington cracking down on this. What a beautiful goal to open us up as well. I mean, Leroy starting out game 4, really important goal for SBK, but ever since that first one, it just didn't go their way.
Yeah, it just has not. I mean, Force Fed, just what a comeback really in this one. And that's where you really love to see, again, a guy like Phoenix in this team. It's kind of just feels like the missing piece. I mean, me and you were talking about it behind the scenes, and it's just such a huge moment for them. And it wasn't even official until Friday, I believe, after they performed so well in the qualifier is when they got it really under the bag. And they've looked the best that they ever have, in my opinion. And I think nobody can really disagree with that, especially if they're going to be able to cap this qualifier #1 off with a championship under their belt. It will be the new man, second, looking to get us started here with a curver in the side wall, but he's going to get picked off. Although Leroy with a brutal curse right there. Oh my goodness, just down off the ground up into the crossbar. What a brutal way to start in game 5 when they need to win.
That is pain incarnate right there. That has got to be the worst thing in the world you feel when you have a wide open net and you still ping it off the crossbar. This is, well, it's no longer tough because Juice Jamal opens up the scoring for SBK.
He absolutely does. Great work right there on SBK. So they've scored the opening goal now in consecutive games. Juice Jamal just right down the middle, just no dive there from second. That's probably the second or third time I've seen that happen today. I think he's really, really patient, and sometimes it can make him look a little funny, but just was expecting them to go off the wall. And so I would say that's actually a good adjustment by Juice Jamal to not really go in off the wall like they love to do. Instead, just take it straight on, and it does secure them a goal here in the opening minute. I will say, of course, this game, they like to switch the scoreboard on us again, so we might need to swap that around one more time, as SBK is indeed in the lead 1-0. But let's see how they're able to maybe get a second one up here on the board.
No, they're going to be looking for it as well. And again, they stopped the momentum on the side of Force Fed. It was a very dominant game 4 for them, but it's going to be ever so important for them to continue that pace of play. Even if they let the opposing team score, they still have a chance to bring it back. Red has that ball somehow magnetized to his feet through traffic and traction on that one. Shot up, Manny finds Phoenix. There's Grizzles wide open as well. Big block, couldn't see who it was. Didn't look like Alex, but could be Mendoza pushing forward here. The getaway has Leroy. Leroy cuts, puts a shot on, but who's there? It's second with the gloves.
Yeah, beautiful work there from second, and they needed it right now as Force Fed are trailing in this game, but certainly got to be still very confident in their ability to try to get themselves over the line here. Not the end of the world if game doesn't go their way. Beautiful use of the backboard, and Sir Grizzles goes flying in. It's Superman here, and it's another goal for Grizzles, and it's a tie game.
Did we just see the Flying Dutchman of Rematch? Is that what just happened? Like, did we just see the Robin Van Persie of Rematch? What in the world was that?
Oh my goodness, the dolphin dive goal, man.
Air Canada.
Really
that was Air. No, Resi is right.
Canada.
That was Air Canada, dude.
Oh my goodness! Just what an idea though, right there, Taquito. Rather than, he's not going to win that ball if he tries to go for prio. Just freaking throw your body at it and it'll work out. Just mash it through. It's just an incredible decision, and it works out for them in a huge way.
That has got to be the funniest thing, bro. Air Canada goal. Now that's got to be the clip. Okay, Phoenix sends it over. Grizzles finds another. He's hot on the sticks. Air Canada himself puts one down. Close post goal 2.
Oh, Canada.
Yes,
Unreal,
let's go.
Dude. Unreal. A second goal for the Grizz. Everyone's favorite rematch content creator is proving that he's more than just a content creator, folks. And I think a lot of people, such as myself, we knew that. I mean, this guy has been such an unbelievable player for so long. And that's why I love to see him back in kind of this more attacking position since joining Force Fed once again. And look what he's able to do right now, Taquito, when he has the true support around him. He's got a couple of goals. He's creating so much. His positioning could not be any better. And he's got his team 3 minutes away with the current scoreline away away from a title here tonight as they try to set him up for what would have been a hat trick, as it was a great ball in from Phoenix, but just a better read from Mendoza.
No, Rezi, yeah, you absolutely get 100% credit for Air Canada. We will make sure Grizzles finds that out. But back to, I mean, Lord have mercy. Grizzles is hot in this game 5. And that's not to say that SBK aren't going to have the ability to come back. There's still plenty of time on the clock. Good pass central. And who else to find the goal? You've got to be kidding me, Pelmav.
Yeah, it's a huge one right here. Leroy, who I will say, again, over the weekend, he hasn't maybe had these kind of vintage performances, but for him to be able to score these kinds of goals, some of his absolute regular goals, if you will, I mean, the placement was just perfect. That far post, off the post, and rattles its way through. It's a Leroy classic right there, trying to go for that lower one after rising up for the bicycle, and he's just having himself a great finals. But unfortunately, right now, his team overall can't necessarily say the same, as they are just back level. It's a huge moment there for Leroy, but again, that one goal is not going to be enough. They need another one here at some point in these final 2 minutes. Juicy is going to be trying to create that as their main guy. Down spinner down the middle, was kind of splitting between the two options in that one with Mendoza and Leroy. Is now one back here. Phoenix playing it back for Red in a safety position.
This has been, I mean, the back and forth that we've seen from these teams, whether it be, oh my good Lord, it's the hat trick. Grizzles takes it, has Skodos go in the opposite direction. He said, hey man, like a magician, one thing in the hand over here, but the magic's happening on the opposite side. There it is. Force Fed taking the lead once more, but again, lock it in, people. We have 106 seconds left on the clock.
I'm telling you, man, like, we give credit right there to Grizzles for a good goal and for him to get a hat trick here in the finals, but that pass was truly unbelievable. And I'll say it again, that's why having someone like Phoenix is so critical, because he's the striker, but he has so much experience at the cam position that his passing is so elite. Probably some of the best you can see of a striker in the game right now is Manny. That would have been a huge goal. That would have blown the ceiling open right now off the people watching in the chat, but unfortunately goes off the post, trying to be a bit too clinical. And instead, SPK off B wall. Mendoza outside in for Leroy, gets knocked away again here by the defensive Force Fed.
Ooh, it's a pass back. Grizzles is going to play this one a little bit. Has Manny wide open left side. There's the right as well. Phoenix goes for the pass. It's a little over Alex. Great header touch to deflect that opportunity, but they still contain possession. Red has Manny off the back wall. Another dive there is good from Mendoza. Skodos will have to play this one properly. The quarterback that SBK need on this potential final push to try to tie and send us to OT.
Need it really bad. Let's see what they run. They try to go sidewall. Manny, who has been stellar all night alongside Red on that defensive half, with a beautiful shutdown there, just completely read it like a book. 25 seconds to go. Force Fed have the ball. They do give it away, though, in the middle of the field. So now it is Juice playing it in for Leroy, who tries to go far post, and second out of nowhere swipes this one away. Begins the countdown timer here. The keep away game. Force Fed Gaming. Can they hold on for the final few seconds? The first pass is given away. Juice Yamal wins it back. Mendoza and Leroy both left alone as an opportunity. Pass shot is saved. Second Gairu has won it for Force Fed Gaming at the death, and they take the finals and qualifier number 1 in 5 games.
Where has the level of this Force Fed roster been, man? With Red, Grizz, and Manny returning the FF moniker, Phoenix at the helm, not only playing well as a striker, but an elite passer. And second, who gets a call up to a top level team, absolutely performing incredibly well this entire tournament to seal a win for Force Fed Gaming. What a roster.
I mean, there's so much really even to begin. I mean, I wish we could maybe hear it from Red himself, but he knows, and I think a lot of people knows about this. I mean, you think about Force Fed Gaming over the past 2 months, even maybe just the last month, they basically didn't compete in any tournaments for a sustained number of weeks after they lost their roster, when it was only Red and Manny as their only two at the back. And they had so many different tryouts trying to find the right people to really fit into some of these positions. And it took them a long time. They didn't like try to rush anything. Nothing was really standing standing out to them. But one of the first ones that they did go with was taking a gamble on a guy like Second Gairu, who is, again, such a great GK. And what a true pickup that has been. And he's leveled up his game in such a huge way. And I think nobody can really deny how good of a GK right now in this game Second is. The way he's been able to shape his game a little bit in this brand new patch of Rematch is huge. And I give him so much praise in this moment, as it's a huge title, easily the biggest tournament win of his entire Rematch career. And you look at a couple guys as well. Grizzle's coming back into force-fed gaming after the time away, obviously with Overdose at the time. And then to bring in the cherry on the cake as well, Phoenix of all people as well, certainly back, a guy who's won in the biggest of moments before with so many other great teams here in the best of tournaments. He's done it again, folks. And now force-fed gaming going to be the team to beat looking forward.
All right, we start off the season, and it's a team that I don't think a lot of us really would have expected to win out in the qualifier, just due to past results. Not saying the strength of the roster, but just due to the past results, ForceFed has not found themselves in a very winning position, but they've also won things outside of this. So it's nice to see a huge win under the moniker of ForceFed. I don't know if Sam J is here, if he's in the chat. I'm sure he's probably incredibly ecstatic to see that one go out. I know Loud was in the chat, Rob was in the chat. Everybody here, man, was hanging out to see. We had almost 200 people consistently watching that win. We're also streaming alongside Red himself, who's probably ecstatic about that win as well. So, but one more time, can we get the bracket one more time to look at the path of these teams so we can really see how this shaped out? And maybe that kind of give you some insight between Pell and I and what our predictions probably could have caused. Obviously, at the top, we had 2 DQs in Amy's Army and Tekio, which immediately put Hidden Cypher and Ghostline Zero into a match together. There was no warm-up between either of those teams. Below that, we had what could have been a semi/grands match between Lockdown Orion and ForceFed, a questionable match between both Pelnav and I, who we probably didn't figure out, or we couldn't figure out who was going to win. We talked about it. We had predictions friendly, but we both put ForceFed Gaming going through. After that, you have False against Next Up. False, with the way they played on Friday, incredible tournament Friday, incredible showing by False. They go through easy. Low XP, a dark horse team, 5-0 through the Swiss, going through as well. SBK, a team that we quite literally just saw in the Grands. We expected them to move forward, but that bottom quadrant, Pell, I want you to tell to the chat about how much we talked about those last 2 matchups.
Yeah, we talked about it so much. I mean, Narcan and Moira, I mean, that was the first one we saw to open up our stream, and it was unbelievable. I mean, we look at a team like Narcan, who ended up winning that series, but they were down 0-2 in that series. They're one of the best teams in Rematch. Again, the defending champions, technically, with the core 4 that they had, and when they won RME Season 4 not that long ago, and they were almost out here in round 1 of the qual. They were able to come back, though, against Moira, obviously, who weren't maybe at full strength with their Cam, obviously, their main starter, Thugzilla, not in the lineup tonight. But in any case, it takes a lot to win 3 in a row against a team of that caliber. And then underneath that one, probably the longest series of the entire night, maybe bar one of the best of 7s to Keto, but Ballistic and Kin, I mean, that one was super long, thought out, and it ended up being a Kin victory in that one. I hope to see more from both of those 2 teams as well in the future, but we obviously saw Narcan move on into the semis, SPK as well, able to take down Low XP, which was, in my opinion, kind of the upset, if you will, potentially, of this bracket, because that was the one part where, and maybe in my friendly prediction that we did, I got it all wrong. You know, I think we both had Low XP really riding off the high of the weekend and really proving that they were so dominant, and being able to maybe even go on a grand finals run like you had. I couldn't say the same maybe for myself, but and in any case, I mean, what a series it really was. I want to give SPK a lot of credit. Both of these 2 teams that we saw here in the finals, SPK, and when a lot of people maybe didn't pick them, and obviously not only is it, you know, obviously a new keeper there with Skodos replacing Inverk, and it was also XV in there replacing Seth here tonight. They made it all the way into the grand final, so congratulations at least to them. That's a huge buff obviously for the season, because although they didn't maybe win this one tonight, Taquito, you know, it's a circuit. We have a lot more weekends to come and a lot more points to be collected, so shout out to them. And then you look at the champions, Taquito. I mean, has there been, look at that bracket that ForceFed went through. Has it ever been tougher?
No, I don't know, man. That was an incredibly stacked bracket for ForceFed to have to go through. But you know what? We've talked so much about what we had there and everything going on. One more time, this, you know, we get a look here. It's it's so hard to kind of decide what was going to happen moving into quarterfinals, into semis. And this really this tested the mettle of Force Fed. They had to go to a game 7 versus Hidden Cipher on the opposite side, where SBK had to go game 7 against Narcan. That off of 2 sweeps. The only team to not sweep going into semis was Force Fed. They had to play almost every single available game after their first round of the top 16. That is incredible, man. They almost played every available game to them to win the Grands. But let's stop talking about how they got there, and let's get them in here right now. I see Red, Phoenix, Grizz, and Second waiting to pop up in here. We're going to have one more chat with the winning team before we get you guys out of here. So let's see if we can send them on up.
Yeah, we'll see if we can bring them on in here. I would have loved, and they're a bunch of great guys as well. I mean, they're guys that we've talked to before, you know, that Taquito. And so it's going to be very, very special. And it looks like they are filing their way on in here. Hopefully Petey doesn't join us. And God damn.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Hey, before we get started, Air Canada, I want to talk to you for a second.
Yes.
So you got that goal, and we're going to shout out Resi_live in the Twitch chat because I made a Flying Dutchman joke. I called you the Robin Van Persie of Rematch. And then Resi decided that you were actually Air Canada. So moving forward, you will be Air Canada from now on.
I'll take it. I will take that name. It's a good day for us Canadians. You know, we won top 32 in the World Cup. And you're, I want to say, the #1 Canadian player on Rematch won a tournament today. So it's a good day for Canada.
Okay, so I told everybody else as well, free poutine, double poutine even, for the entire Rematch community.
Yes.
You have to work that out for us, by the way, Grizzles. You got to work that out somehow.
Dang it. I lose my $100. Dang it.
But seriously, gentlemen, I mean, I know Pelmav could go on for hours talking to you guys, so I'm going to get my shtick out of the way before he absolutely gets in here and has an incredibly long night with y'all. I would like to talk to you, Phoenix, real quick, because obviously you've slotted in. I'm going to talk to you in second. You guys have slotted in on a team of 3 players who have spent a lot of time playing together. Phoenix, what was it like to take kind of like that lead striker role on a roster like this?
Oh, I loved it because my original position was striker a long time ago. And then I've been switching to cam. I've been playing cam for a lot of teams. And then now I'm back to striker, and I just got to fill in and just slot right into this team. And they just had the whole position set up for me. So I really don't have to do much. And they just kind of guide me the whole way. So I love it.
You don't have to do much, brother. You were playing cam and striker at the same time. What are you talking about? Like, you were literally participating in 2 different positions. The way you were passing to Grizz when Grizz was hot, you literally just obviously it happens. You kind of know what it means. Like, if you're not on it and somebody else is, you have that same capability and knowledge to step into another position to allow somebody else to shine. Kind of like a selfless play. Is that what you felt like when you did join this team? You felt like you didn't actually have to take over the striker role constantly?
I just felt like that they have a lot of trust in me, and in the ability to see the space that I'm given, as long as within the defense and what they give me, so I can create a lot more and just kind of maneuver the pieces around, and they maneuver me around, and we just work together really well. So that's kind of what we're able to do.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I know you guys performed very well. You had an incredible night. I called you the Viltrumite by the way, all night long. You were the Viltrumite. So
I actually don't think I've ever lost with you and Pelmav casting my game at the same time.
That's crazy.
Think that's still a streak going on to this day.
That is a crazy stat. Second, unmute that mic, big dog. We got to talk to you, man. You had an incredible GK performance this entire weekend. Pelmav actually talked you up a little bit as a fellow GK player himself. He said, when he told me about you getting on this roster, he said, you're going to want to watch this guy. He said, you know, he's been coming up. He's on the come up right now. I think he's going to play really well. He's fit in really well to the way the goalkeeper has been adapted. And I think you did nothing but prove that fact this evening. How does it feel to kind of step into a team like this and win your very first tournament?
Oh my God, I'm going to be real. I've tried so many different ways to play GK Dispatch. The hitbox is it's so annoying, but we got through it. I'm getting it now, so Yeah, I hope I could do better in the next qual, even though.
Do better. You
Totally
won.
won.
You got
I
first place.
still
How
wanna
do you
do
do
better.
better?
Yeah.
How about a 100% save rate? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my
Yeah.
lord, bro! You're telling me you're gonna get a 100% save rate against like Fate, Leroy, Asaki? Man,
Yeah,
you,
no,
you got a
definitely
tall
not.
task in front of you, bro. That's
No,
I
but,
want all y'all to hear that. If you're in the chat, by the way, he called all y'all out just now. You hear that?
What?
Bro won
Don't
his
put
first
words
tournament
on my
and
keeper's
said
mouth.
100% save rate.
No.
You we're just having
No.
fun, man. We're just having fun, brother. Like,
Yeah, no,
you
you're
played
good.
absolutely incredibly this evening. You did
appreciate it, man.
do a lot. You had a very tall task against you this entire tournament. Y'all's bracket run was very hard. So nothing short of impressed, which is my first time seeing you for an entire weekend. Like I said, obviously Pell knows you. I don't. So my sample size, the bar is pretty high, big dog.
Yeah, I think first tourney, Kama was casting our losers bracket, I believe. And I think I popped off that game too. So yeah, appreciate it, Pelmov. Much love to you, bro.
Hey, Pell, the mic is yours, man. We finally got hey, we got BBB in here. Manny finally
know,
decided to
it's-
show up fashionably late.
Yeah, it's perfect timing because
Yeah.
this is the big question that I want to get into because a lot of people maybe don't know, but I talked about it a little bit before you guys got in here. This is specifically for Red and for Manny. Obviously, maybe Red, you can dictate if you want, but we talk about Force Fed Gaming as a team, just a couple of weeks ago. You guys, for a while, for a number of weeks, just weren't even competing because you didn't have a roster. It was only Red and it was only Manny on this team. And it went through, some teams where they have these tryouts, it goes very quickly. They pick up some people because they're looking for some teams and then they just roll with it. And it's either great or it's bad. But for you guys, it took a lot longer for that to happen. You didn't actually play as a team for quite a while, and you methodically worked your way through a couple of tryouts. Obviously, the big one, obviously, being second coming in as the GK, which was a huge, huge pickup for you guys. Obviously, at this point now, you could see how great that was. But at the time, it was maybe like some people might have thought it's a bit of a surprise pick in a GK at the moment. And then, when Grizzles ends up leaving Overdose at the time, comes back as an opportunity and to bring Phoenix along with him. I mean, just talk us through what it means for you guys to now be here. Obviously, you won a tournament yesterday. You won the big tournament here tonight after such a long time with maybe not even a roster and maybe some doubt of whether this team was even going to compete in the rematch future.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a process to say the least. It's been a long time coming. It's been a lot of effort from myself, from Manny, and from Grizz. Even from his short, brief period of time on loan to Overdose, we appreciate them returning him as you can see. But second absolutely lights out, line keeper before this patch, and as you can see now, that's not necessarily the case anymore. But absolute legend for being able to play as he did today. I mean, that goes for everyone. Manny especially being my kind of my true duo at this point now, besides Grizz, of course, with the offensive side of things. But on defense, it's very nice to be able to trust him and now my keeper as well to be able to hold things down if I ever need to push up the field. And I mean, we have the chemistry, we have what it takes here, and it shows. And it's so nice to have a full 5-stack again. I said that multiple times since we finally got our full 5, but not being able to play with a consistent roster for those couple of weeks, it was rough, it was infuriating. But it all leads to now, and as you can see, it's been a great time.
Yeah, it absolutely has been a great time. And you guys, I mean, what a gauntlet, like Taquito mentioned. I mean, you go against Lockdown as your first opponent. I mean, it's like, I was saying the same thing with Narcan and Turtle earlier. I was like, oh yeah, congrats on how well you did in the Swiss on Friday. Here's your first round opponent. You go up against Lockdown in your first round. And so it might be already tough to look at, but I mean, you guys handled that series. I wish we were able to cast that one as well, but
yeah,
it looks like you handled it pretty easily. And then you had the other ones, a team like False, who obviously Taquito gave them a lot of credit. And I think they should, because again, they beat you guys in the Swiss on Friday, but you were able to take them to game 5, win against them there, come back against Hidden Cypher, who were undefeated over the entire weekend, in a game 7, and then to do what you did just now against SPK. I mean, it truly is a remarkable one. And I would say now, again, you probably caught a lot of teams, a lot of people watching off guard, because you're not necessarily maybe the biggest of underdogs like some of the other teams are, but certainly now your name, the team name, is going to be on watch. A lot of people are going to be watching some force-fed film. So where do you now go going into next week's qualifier?
I mean, just continue doing what we've been doing. We have a system that's been working on offense and on defense, and just continue to polish that system, get out a couple of the kinks that we noticed throughout today, and then continue to push on and keep taking those first places.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a great time right here. I mean, my goodness, Grizzles. I mean, it's great to have you back, of course, on the Force Fed side. I mean, what does it feel like? I mean, you come back, you were winning some tournaments, obviously with Overdose, and things maybe got a little bit different. They changed around. You come back, and the team's right back to winning.
I mean, I'm going to say this like this. Even with my time in Overdose, I have always been there to help Red scout for players and everything of that sort. And I'm going to say this now. Whenever the first scrim I've ever seen second play, I DM'd Red before the first game was over, and I said, you do not lose this dude. You do not lose him. He had the reaction time that you cannot teach a human to be. So even on my time at Overdose, it was nice. It was nice winning 5. I think I won 5 out of 10 tourneys, I think, with Overdose or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then after I got dropped, immediately I said, yo, Red, you want to rebuild this? And then we found Phoenix. Phoenix and I, honestly, we have been just meshing so well as OGs of the rematch scene. I think it's literally 4 OGs of the rematch scene with one dude that I think second you came in February into the rematch scene for
February?
February
Yes.
24th.
Bro's been playing for 4 months?
Well, competitive for 4 months. I've been playing since July, but that was a ranked
Oh,
warrior.
okay,
until
okay,
then.
whoa. I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa.
I still think
Bro's
I'm a
this good in 4 months. Jesus.
But he deserves it. He's been nothing but amazing. He's like the adaptability that you have to be a line keeper and then adapting to a patch which being aggressive is a lot better is just impressive to me. Like there's nothing I can say but wow. That was a fun tourney. It was nice, scoring 3 in the final game. I think I pulled my weight, but without my team, I'm not winning this tourney. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's very, very fair praise. I mean, you guys defensively doing such a good job. Again, the 3 at the back formation, trying to hold it down more times than not. And I think we want to ask you a very funny question here. Definitely boot up the Ellington Discord stream right now. He's got a clip loaded up for you. He wanted to ask, we wanted to see what you guys maybe thought about this crazy situation that happened in game number 1, where it was Juice in Leroy and a couple of headers off the crossbar once, off the crossbar again. Then he picks it up, follows it through, and it's saved. What do you think about that moment right there?
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, Red. Go ahead. You're the anchor. You should say this.
From my POV, after I missed the first jump, it's like watching a car accident happen. You can't take your eyes away. You want to look away, but you can't because there was nothing I could do to help. And it's just, I just got to hope that somehow this ends up in my keeper's gloves or just leaves the box because, oh my gosh.
Hey, funniest thing too, I want to say, my favorite part of the whole clip, second, I know, man. You jumped, you missed. The ball goes off the crossbar. You jump again. You jump again, and you miss. And the ball goes off the crossbar a 3rd time. And instead of hitting your gloves, it hits you in the butt.
You should have heard me in the team speak. I was screaming after the ball got out. I was screaming.
So crazy. It was such a crazy clip. It was
I thought it was a goal.
The fun fact about it though, after that scream, no one really gave that big of a reaction. We all gave that sigh or that little yell of relief, and then we all got back to what we needed to do.
I'm pretty sure I yelled at everyone, all right, reset, calm down. And then we just went dead silent and just walked back in.
So the last person that we got to hear talk, man, Manny, you've been muted this whole time. You have not said a single word. I wonder if Bro even knows how to unmute himself in Discord.
Oh no, I definitely do. I promise you.
There he is. All right, Manny, talk to me, man.
All the talking.
No, you gotta talk. You're the only player on the team who hasn't said a single word yet. As somebody who their prime job is really to kind of just be the defensive guy. You play back a lot. I'm assuming you're what, CB? Is that your role?
CDM.
CDM. It's okay. So that was my second guess, was CDM. Yeah, he's just he's probably just the way you play, you kind of float a lot. And I actually really appreciate that because for the most part, I don't see you making offensive attacks, but the way you're able to kind of block people out and box people in certain parts of the field, is that something that you feel is your favorite part of adding to this team? Do you even really care about being on the offensive side, or are you more, I'm going to be completely defensively mindset, I'm going to be the guy who's going to lock down as much as I possibly can just to provide my team opportunities to score?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I originally came from an anchor role, so I've had to like over these past few months, even trying to rebuild force fed. I've jumped around to cam. I played CB for a little bit, and honestly, playing CDM with Red especially is just so comfortable. And with second, honestly, bringing up that pick too, it's just so comfortable, and I know that I can trust those two in my box, so I can easily just kind of flow around the midfield, especially at being able to dictate offensive plays too with Grizz and move the ball around and just kind of tiki-taka our way up the field allows, him and Phoenix to kind of do what they got to do, to score. And I'm just happy to be here and help them out.
Yeah, man. Not to say that you guys aren't a good team here in North America. I do not want this statement to come off like that. But I know you guys have been trying to be at the top through the history of this game, and y'all have just been like genuinely like right outside of it in some cases. Other cases, you guys have actually absolutely made pushes to, semifinals, grand finals. Sometimes you get there, sometimes you don't. This moment feels really big for you guys. Like the three of you, not saying that Phoenix and Second aren't included in this, but the three of you who have been force fed for so long, this one feels really big for you guys. Do you feel the same way about that?
I'll speak for my part.
Is it Red? Yeah, go for it, Red.
I was like, this has been a long time coming, and
I agree. I agree.
And I'm sure Manny can attest to that too, because he's stated vehemently about wanting to win. Like it is time. I put my time, put my effort in. We all kind of have that same mindset of like we've put the time in. We need that reward.
Yep, I fully agree. It has definitely been a long time coming. Well, guys.
Yep.
This has been a long night, and I'm sure you guys are happy. Y'all probably need to go back and just talk about the win yourselves. Phoenix, not to single you out on all this. You've been here before. You know what it's like to be at the top. But hearing you say what you have said about this team, how you've slotted in, and it's just felt so comfortable, so easygoing. I'm sure Red, Grizz, and Manny love to hear that. That is a massive praise probably for them. And also, second, you heard what was said about you. Don't lose this guy. Don't lose this keeper. That was what was said about you before you ever got in the team. So with all of that, you guys have routed out an incredible roster. I hope you have an amazing evening. What a tournament win for you guys. I hope to see you at the top again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'd like to add something too. I'd like to
go ahead, brother.
Okay. I want to say there's been some tier lists released the past couple days, and I don't think one of our players was. we may have had one player in the top 5 out of all of us, so we might have to redo those tier lists. And then shout out
last time I checked, you were in my S tier. Just saying.
Yeah, but I barely made it. I didn't even count it. I saw that. I didn't even count it.
Okay, all right, Phoenix. All right. Made it in the S tier. Says he barely counts it. Okay.
The fact that you debated it hurt me.
All right, buddy.
I forgive you.
Go enjoy your night, punk.
One thing I want to say, can Red finally get his flowers, bro? This guy's the king. I can you finally, like, every time
captain.
It's always been, oh my god, it's Grizz carrying, it's Grizz. This guy's carrying my defense. He is doing what he needs to do. Like, he gives good passes. Not a lot of anchors do that. Like, give him his flowers, please. He deserves it.
Hey, man. Red, you really did play really well tonight. All 5 of y'all did. Like, they're like, again, that grand finals, I understand it was a 4-1 victory in game 5, but I think all 10 of you, including SBK, put on an incredible performance tonight. I think everybody after the top 8, just from what we saw, not to say the people who lost in round 1 don't matter, because obviously Lockdown was in there. There's a couple other good teams that were in there, but it genuinely was going to be the hardest tournament for all top 8 of y'all. It was going to be an incredibly hard tournament, and somehow y'all found your way to number 1. So just genuinely, every single one of y'all had to play the best rematch you've played in a very long time. And you guys did that. You did exactly that.
Oh, yeah, muted. Thank you, King.
You're welcome, Chris. Hey, like I said, man, y'all go celebrate the win. Y'all have a great night, all right? It was an incredible tournament for your force fed. Y'all deserve it.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Great casting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Really awesome.
Bye-bye.
Funniest thing, man. Funniest thing. Phoenix comes in. I don't think I've lost when you two have commentated my tournament win. Get out of here, Phoenix. That's so
I feel
funny.
like maybe some people, I think other people have said the same thing. I don't know if that's just because
Nova
actually,
has.
I don't know.
Nova has.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a funny thing to look at, really. But wow, that's a great moment right there. Getting a little the interview at the end, and it couldn't happen to a better group of guys. You talk about some of those guys. Again, I always give Red so much of his flowers for just his presence, obviously, in the community, and a lot can be said about the rest of those players as well on that team. So huge moment for ForceFed Gaming. I think that's a very, very well-deserved victory for them. Now, final thing we could probably wrap up with, Taquito, is our predictions and our bracket. How you feeling after that?
Look, man, I think I just wanted the dark horse win so bad with low XP because what was that Friday, man? You know what I'm saying? What was that Friday? Like, just a pickup team, literally. I mean, I understand all of Rematch as a pickup team, but like, just an incredible performance. They really did. They were that team that you needed to be afraid of moving into the bracket. Same with False. I thought False was going to make it a little further. Obviously, they ran into the team that won the tournament. So there's that. Hidden Cypher was incredibly good moving into the top side of the bracket, but they faltered pretty hard moving into semis. We didn't get to watch a lot of that game. A lot of us weren't either. I think I was here, but I was not commentating.
Yeah.
It stunk to see what happened to Hidden Cypher, just kind of like the flip at the last second. But again, shout out ForceFed. They went on to win the tournament. Same on the bottom side. Narcan, I definitely had a lot of faith in. And unfortunately, they also kind of ran into a snag against SBK. That's not a team that I normally would see X Overdose, Narcan lose to. Historically speaking, they normally don't. They do have that win. They have a good head-to-head against them. And unfortunately, SBK had their number tonight. And it was crazy to see that it was 2 Game 7s. Could not have predicted that in semifinals. An incredible way to lead into grands. And not to say SBK got gassed out. I think ForceFed genuinely it was just their night. No matter how you flip it, it literally was just their night to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I've been giving them the praise all weekend long. I said this is the team that you come in. There's a definitive 3, which 2 of them they were out in round 1, obviously with Lockdown and Moirai, and then Narcan was your other one. Obviously, they had to play against Moirai, but even Narcan was the team. I'll admit I had them going all the way to the finals, and actually had them. Even though I had ForceFed in the finals, I did have Narcan over them. So I wish I would have gone fully invested. I felt like it was too much of a gamble for me to go ForceFed all the way. I thought maybe they would have gotten over the hump maybe on the next weekend, but very, very exciting to see obviously how this one did turn out. And now a lot of attention now moves into the next one on the weekend, because a lot of teams that maybe went out early in their rights, again, a lot of these teams, Taquito, we know that they think they are the absolute best team right now in the North American region. This is probably the most open it's ever been at the top, with so many different teams that really could on any given day just go all the way and win this thing. So it's not certainly going to be something to look forward to. I mean, ForceFed, it's going to be a tough title defense is the best way to say it, comparison to maybe some of the other teams in prior history, but going to be a lot of fun next week, and a lot of teams going to be looking to get some revenge, and I'm so excited to see how that one does on go. But it looks like that is going to be it from us here tonight, and I don't know if there's too much to say. Just follow us all below this one here, obviously Rematch Esports Plus as well. They put on a hell of a show tonight. I want to shout out the producer Ellington on this channel for doing an unbelievable job. Love to have the replays as well. We got obviously Blett on the other one, and all of the great casters so far here tonight. We all do it. We all have so much fun, and it would not be the same if it wasn't for all the viewers as well. So for me and Taquito, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you have a fantastic Sunday night and a great start to the week tomorrow. We're out of here. Peace.